This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
I turned every mic off and then turned them up, and then I had them still off. So now I've got them on.
Okay.
Holy crap. It's 7:01. Good evening. It's The Show. We are live coming to you from Studio C in what we know as Central Phoenix. I hope that's how you know it. Why is it? For some reason, I have forgotten how to take... I have forgotten how to take the camera shot. Something's happening. Boom.
And hit,
What in the hell have I done?
hit record.
No, I've already done that. I got that part I got down. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I got to figure out why I can't
Hello.
Hi, welcome everyone
Katie, June, Al Perkins, talk amongst yourselves.
to all of the listeners, the viewers who can't quite see us yet,
As I try to open up a beautiful bottle of...
and the ships at sea.
Now I figured out how I did it.
Chardonnay.
You have to take something off in order to put something on. I think we've all experienced that somewhere in life, somewhere along the way. Somehow.
Yeah.
What are you opening? My God, Al, you're having a challenge with this cork.
I usually don't do this sitting down. I think my microphone's too low, or am I not talking in the right spot?
You're not. What,
It could be that.
try now, sir.
Is that better?
That
Oh, there we
much
go.
better.
So it was really just Katie talking.
Oh, we can hear you. Deaf people can hear you.
I know.
That is
Yes.
a good point.
As Al attempts to open a bottle of wine, Katie is resorting to using her only device that has a charge this evening, which is her phone. For
Yeah.
every time we say Google it, it's going to be a smaller version of Google.
It will, but I'm very proficient.
Oh, I'm sure
with
you
the iPhone. I am
sure.
like on it. You know, I heard a study that the average person spends, I think it was 2.5 hours per day. On their cell phone, like actually engaging on their
In
cell phone
some way
in
or
some
form.
capacity,
Right.
talking.
Sure.
I have to be triple to quadruple that number, which is the pits because I have a family and friends and other things. But I'm addicted.
It's how you keep up with family
I
and friends.
honest to
Right.
God, I'm really truly. I think I'm addicted to my phone.
Probably so.
Yeah.
To a point. I mean, because
I need a 12-step.
Knowledge is power, so you're always looking for that.
That and Candy Crush.
I like to disguise it as knowledge is power too.
I mean, Candy, you're sucked into that.
I'm a Candy Crusher.
I'm afraid my mom is,
I
and
think-
and I don't know this for a fact. And Mom, you can feel free to join us in the chat room and let me know that I'm wrong. I saw the icon on her phone or pad. I
Yeah.
forget what it was, and I'm like, I didn't even ask about it because,
Yeah,
like, please.
It's like an addiction. If
Yeah.
you have the icon, you have the drug.
I've not ever touched
I
it.
have seen them go down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not
there's
my deal.
Kevin
I had-
Dasso and our friend Jim and just nuts. Like to the point where they while we were at a restaurant ordering food, it's what the waitress and the two of them were talking about. So our service was interrupted by like 15 minutes because they were into it.
Like they're trading secrets about like how to beat certain levels.
I don't understand that.
It's really embarrassing.
there's
Actually,
Marnie.
hi Marn.
Hi, Marn.
It's really horrible. Now I think we've talked about this before that I am not the person that's ever going to. I'm not going to invite you on Facebook to play because that just is sinking to a whole new level that I will not allow myself to
if you don't
reach.
invite us, Facebook itself invites us.
Yeah.
Oh, like every third day. I think I finally had to block it.
Jesus, but I am hooked. So yeah, I've got the phone, no computer tonight, but we're here.
I think you'll make it. I think
Yeah,
you'll be good.
I think I'll live.
I'm sure you will somehow. Marn.
Hi.
You just flew in from Midwest somewhere?
Yeah, that damn Allegiant Airlines.
Oh, is that why you were delayed? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't realize. We were just talking about that moments ago that you came back a day later than you'd planned.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it wasn't, and that was not intentional. You weren't like, I'm having such a great time. I'm going
Oh
to
no,
stay another day.
Allegiant grounded. At one point, I read like 22 out of 30, but
Because
then
the
more.
emergency shoots, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Emergency
yeah.
slides, I guess you should
So
say.
I was okay with that.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Fix your business.
Yeah.
right.
Then let's launch this bird.
Yeah.
And
While
maybe
there's shit on the ground.
put me on another airline if you have to ground all of them.
Yeah.
That's a little disconcerting, but it was good. It was
Gotcha.
really good.
But a
Every
lot of
plane
times
is
they're-
out of the sky.
But a lot of times they're at the wrong airport to put you in another plane.
Right.
Is the problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
because they're at a smaller regional.
Yeah, usually.
Exactly. Where do you actually fly in and out of for that?
Mesa,
No, back home. back there.
Springfield.
Oh, you do go north of
It was-
Branson
yeah.
by an hour
Yeah.
to Springfield. Got
It
it.
was really beautiful.
It's beautiful country. You can't deny. I mean, it's just like, where he's from, the fall colors and everything is gorgeous and all, but then
Yeah.
get out before winter hits because
and I was
fuck
hanging,
that.
I was hanging
just
out
get
with people
out.
because Jason's from Seneca Falls. If you knew, I mean, as far as that familiarity. And there was this gal named Katie that was there.
You can't escape her.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't get away from
Hey.
it. Hey, hi.
Like a rash.
I know, but we were talking about I
favorite kind.
I said, if I were to say Finger Lakes to you, what does that mean? And she went, oh my God, and started naming them and blah. And I thought,
Well, Seneca Falls is the Finger Lakes. That's
But as far as like just the whole area, going
Yeah,
on
yeah.
and on, as far as
beautiful.
being able to kind of put it together, I said, well, I know, I've heard all about it. So from Mr. Perkins.
It was interesting to look and see your postings. Were actually more Jason's postings than yours. There's one picture where you notably had a forced smile. Yeah, there's one that I noticed. Now maybe they all
That's
haven't been put.
exciting.
Yeah,
I
I'll
love
point
it.
that one out to you
Yeah,
later because
please
I'm like,
do.
everybody looks happy, and Marnie looks like, if I don't look happy, they'll kill me. Is what it looked like.
That could very
It's really
well
what
have
it
been.
smile.
It's what it was. That's what it looked like to
That
me.
could have
and
well
nice
been.
enough weather for boating.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. The
I mean,
pictures.
I saw a couple pictures on your Facebook page that were so beautiful, and I had to remind myself. I'm like, where is she again? And then Branson, and I love it there.
Branson, actually, you're on Table Rock Lake.
Table Rock Lake.
Which is the lake
So
I've spent
amazing.
many, many hours. And actually, that's the first, if I'm not mistaken, that's the first place I ever learned to water ski. And I could only water
okay.
ski.
Really
on
afraid
a-
of where that sentence was
on-
going.
I
on a
know.
single-
There's grudge fuck stories just
There
being
are.
thrown there.
I-
So
Not
I-
any involved in a lake.
Yeah.
Lots of stumps.
good, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, but no, they. There's
a lot of forest over there in
Before
Branson.
my fear of dark water and what you
Yeah.
can't see through came when I was much younger, I was. We'd spend many a day down there.
Okay.
By any chance, do you remember any docks that you were nearby?
Yeah, we truly went like all over in
Okay.
the pontoon.
Is there
so-
one down there that's still called Big M Boat Dock? Did you?
No,
recall?
I totally would have taken a picture by that.
Okay.
I would have been like, hey.
Yeah, because that's the name of the dock that we used to go to, and
Okay.
I remember, as a kid, you wake up and you could smell as you walk towards the dock. Because on a Saturday morning, as a child, you want to get up at 6 a.m. because that's what you do.
Right.
And smelling the whatever the breakfast that was cooking from the little tragic
sure.
grill that was within the dock, and
right.
just those smells of. So I was thinking a lot about when you were at Table Rock Lake in
Yeah.
Southwest Missouri.
It was one of like going out on the boat and just riding on the pontoon, just sitting there in the fresh air.
God, I want to be
Oh,
with you.
the fresh air was
That is-
just too much for me.
And I'm sure by now colors changing all around the
little
lake.
bit.
Little bit.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit. So I was
The very
if there was
start,
a
right?
right.
Like
if
into
there was
October?
a disappointment, it was that it wasn't because of all the trees. I mean, just and all of that whole area.
It's still a little early for that.
But
part.
for
little.
back east though, it's already
it was
turning.
it was still early because
Yeah.
nothing had turned yet in Philadelphia.
Oh, I thought I saw
Yeah,
somebody
there was
post
another
something.
week.
There was
Yeah.
there was like a hint of red, a hint of yellow
Right,
here or
right.
there, but predominantly green trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have, and I'm going to get this wrong. I heard it enough, but when people build and then all the way down to the lake, they cut all the trees down, right?
Okay.
Because they want to have
They want to be able
the
to
view,
see
the lake view.
right?
Well, the some kind of guard came in and has taken it over.
Corps of Engineers.
I feel like merchant something. I don't know, but whatever I heard.
The Merchant Army.
Merchant
has
Army,
shown-
Merchant Army,
Marines,
yes,
I don't know.
exactly.
Whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, something.
John
they
McCain's
came
in charge of them.
Of course he is.
They came in and they said you can't cut them down. You can't cut any trees down. So when you look, like all of the pictures that I have, you have to really look, and there are houses hidden in there.
Right.
And it just, I thought, thank God. that
Well, it's
they
probably
did
for the
that.
soil erosion. If they start getting rid of the trees and the brush, then stuff will just start to really as it rains.
I
Right.
don't think so. It was my understanding was it was to keep the beauty of
both
and
are
keep
fine.
it pristine.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but keep it pristine. Like there was a time when they could keep putting in docks,
Right.
the boat docks, and they said no, we're done with that.
Otherwise,
now.
there'd be a
Good.
boat slip every
And
4
they
feet.
should, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
a
Right.
little
good.
moratorium.
The only because I'm not I don't know if y'all picked up. I'm not super outdoorsy, and
Not super.
not super outdoorsy.
A
and,
little.
well, maybe skosh, but anything that moves faster than me, well, not so good. I don't. I try to handle it well.
Most everything then?
Yeah, just about damn
got-
near everything. Uh-huh. There were some squirrels back home that were real cute, but they were at a distance. And so they were telling me about these black snakes, that they have black snakes back
Right.
there.
Back
I
sense.
don't-
Yep.
Good Lord.
Right.
And
Done.
a snake liker.
Yeah.
Snake like, not
Yeah.
lover. Snake
Yeah.
liker.
Liker.
But that
Wrap 'em around
sounds real scary.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Snakeophile.
So anyway, the main
Of
thing was
many different types of snakes.
the last day, meaning the extra day. Jason's mom
We'll call it
says
a bonus day.
the bonus day.
Yes.
Jason's mom says, let's go out on they have 2 kayaks. And so Jason and Danielle got in the little kayaks and they're kayaking. And she and I got into a canoe.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, and these are things I don't normally wouldn't do. Well, last time I did it, I was 19, and the person that was in there, God bless her, Paula Chapdelaine, she was on acid. And so,
God bless her.
so I didn't have a
God.
clue, so we just kept going in a circle.
Oh my
I'm
God,
like,
Marnie,
"Help,
that's amazing."
help." So Jason's mom was not on acid, I don't think. And so when we're
drug testing her now.
we are right in the
Results
middle
pending.
of that. And we're out there, and they had said, here are the black snakes, and here's this. Well, the canoe, little point.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And then up here is like a place for water to fill, I guess. But it doesn't do anything. It's just the little triangle point.
Okay.
And so I'm up front because the steerer's in the back. That shouldn't be me. And I'm sitting there and I'm doing my little look at how fun this is. And from the land
so
of sky blue
outdoorsy.
water.
Yeah.
Or greenish, whatever.
Yeah.
And I look down, just not like look down, but just, your vision.
Peripheral
glance.
vision, yeah. Something moving?
Well, yeah, it did. And there was like a blackish rope to tie the
Sure.
canoe
the
open
canoe,
again.
right?
But this did not. That rope stayed still.
Oh.
The rope
was
stayed still.
moving.
Mhm.
As ropes will do.
They should.
Yes.
As they
Yeah.
should.
Ropes are.
And
All
so
ropes.
I'm doing this, and all of a sudden I see.
Oh my gosh.
paddle, 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 paddle.
Here's the thing. Here's the best part of it, and I feel like I really made strides because we did not tip over.
Yeah, that's a
Because
good.
normally I'm going to be like, oh my God.
You're going to jump out.
Quite
swim
frankly,
to shore.
it was because of the dark waters, and I can't see what's in it.
Okay, so it's either
I'm with you.
you can see the evil that's here. You don't know what evil's in there. I understand.
And I go in there. There's a lot more evil.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know.
Apparently zombies, because these two will talk about that in a minute, I'm sure.
But my feet went straight up, and I got really high pitched voice, and was like, I'm fine.
But
There's something that slithered out, and Jason's mom's just as afraid of snakes.
Oh.
And so all of a sudden she's like, all right, we're fine. And Danielle's coming over, and Jason's just laughing. And the whole thing turned out it was black. And I said, it may or may not have had legs. I don't know. I just know they moved really fast underneath me. And all it was, okay, I say all it was, doesn't matter. Things still should be dead, is a salamander.
Okay.
It was black.
Yeah.
And it
Still
did
scary
scurry
and
very fast.
big-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So
and
now-
it came out of nowhere,
So now, living in the desert, as we are apt to
Sure,
do here in
sure.
Phoenix, now oftentimes you'll find there are those little, I was going to call it a lizard, but geckos. They're all over the
chameleons.
place. Oh, now,
there was one on my fireplace this morning. Walking out the door.
They walk up. They
scurried
walk
in.
up walls, then by pools everywhere. So do you lose your cookies when even those?
It depends. Yes, to a degree. I mean, if I see them outside and I see them at a distance enough, I'm okay.
Okay.
But when I was going through that time period with a lot of things just kind of jumping out at me and doing different things, I got home, and this was when I started stopped taking myself as seriously, because I knew I was afraid for a purpose before, but now I was just afraid because I thought maybe. I get home, and there was probably the biggest gecko I had ever seen right outside the house.
They're cousins, so he'd wired
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, Ryer's coming home."
Hey, Brutus,
Yeah.
get over there. El Jefe says. And so I look up, and just as I go up to put the key in, and like right here, it just, and I jumped straight up in the air and flipped all the way around. So I'm facing the street, and I'm like, dear God. And I just started laughing. It's probably 4:00 in the morning. And I am laughing so hard because all I can imagine is my neighbors. Really.
The crazy one's home.
She's screaming
I've
again, and I
adopted
was
one
like,
in my
I'm
house as a
fine.
pet.
That's where I started yelling. I'm fine. Everything is fine. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it depends on the
If
situation.
you'd
but-
have cornered him, you could have saved 15% on your car insurance. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Like there's a huge one that lives in my house that I can't get rid of. It's in there. It's growing.
Oh.
And then there's a baby
The
one.
Loch Ness
and the
Perkins.
baby one is always in
Oh.
the shower, but it only shows up in the shower the day before I go on trips, because
Oh.
it torments my house sitter. And he's
Oh, he's
so
terribly afraid of
here's the
geckos.
armed ex-marine. That's what he's afraid of.
Oh, this is like an elephant being afraid of a mouse.
So every time that I go, every time I come back from vacation, there's like shoe prints in my shower. So I'm like, are you showering in your shoes? Like, is your fear of this thing? Because all I do is
so
get a
dramatic.
magazine and like flick it across the room that's as close as I can get. Like, I've gotten a couple out of the living room by flicking them with the magazine.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to kill that. I don't know what it's going to look
Yeah.
like.
Bumped
It's
it on
gross.
his brain injury.
Well,
right
and
The
there.
they're
big one
harmless.
the big one is a good probably 4 or 5 inches now.
Well, I've been to your house a few times,
still
and
don't
I've
go
never
that
run into
argument.
any reptilian.
Oh yeah, no,
People.
it's there.
Kelly's more scared of them than I am, but like I said, when we were walking out the door this morning and we saw one right on the fireplace, it had clearly just crawled in. And our mail slot, we have one of the old mail slots that goes right through the front, and it doesn't shut all the way on the outside. And
Oh, so they
and-
scurry up the
That's
wall.
it.
I'm-
Same
I've
as-
seen
same as
them.
at my house,
And
yeah.
the
Yeah.
inside, we try to keep it closed tightly, but those little fuckers are strong and they just crawl right through.
They're out there lifting twigs.
I'm honestly okay with them because they eat other stuff
They
that
eat
I don't
crickets.
want.
That's a good thing. And
Protein.
I have, since I've had this new pet, I have not had a cricket in my house.
Yeah, no,
because
they-
they find them and eat them.
and
I
they are
don't mind
perfectly
crickets.
Now,
harmless.
crickets
They're
are
harmless.
what scorpions eat, yes?
yes.
Okay, so then I like geckos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
that's the
right.
thing, 'cause they don't
until
make-
one runs across your feet.
From what I've heard before, they don't
I
make
might scream.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying I don't jump when it runs across during a horror movie.
It
you know
just
what I mean?
startles
Right.
you.
Oh,
I
well,
think
my-
that
anything-
more startles.
Anybody could walk in your house. I mean, Ed McMahon could walk in and tell you one of Publishers Clearinghouse, and you're going to scream bloody murder depending on the scene.
Oh, and I had to run
and how
my,
well it was acted.
I had to do my semi-annual dishwasher
Of course, Ed
run
McMahon's
yesterday,
dead. That would scare me probably.
and it was making this
For those who didn't catch that, say that again.
my semi-annual dishwasher run.
Once at the Academy Awards.
Yep. And maybe Thanksgiving.
And
Maybe.
I usually have some reason to run it before Thanksgiving, and it ran an I don't know what's loose, tight, or like water challenged, but now it screams like a boiling lobster. It's hysterical. So when I ran it the second time, so now it's the triannual. It'll be quarterly if I go again.
I think every 3 months is fair.
But the second time the scream ended. So I don't know if it was so dry that it actually hurt
my
the
God,
washing
that's
Well,
machine.
they're actually in the, and I'll permit me to get technical on you for just a moment, in the base of dishwashers where, because the motor spins the pump, yada, yada, there's a seal, and I believe it's a ceramic seal, but those do need to be maintained
yeah.
wet. So if you let it get dry, yeah, you're better off just to pour occasionally a thing of water in it just to keep it wet. You're better off.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's my public service announcement for today's listeners.
and I know
you.
like I don't have any real use for the dishwasher, but I know that to keep it up, I have to run.
I
it
use mine all the time.
occasionally.
I rinse stuff. I do things with it. It's great for tools and removing grease off of wrenches and stuff. I use it for all
Don't
kinds of
eat
stuff.
anything that's been in his dishwasher.
It self cleans.
That's fantastic.
There's so many things you can do
You
with the
put your
dishwasher.
tools
I
in
self
there?
clean, and I'm not going to eat anything.
But you encourage others to. Isn't that?
I do.
There-
I do. As much encouragement as I can offer a young girl.
Oh, that's funny.
Very nice.
I like it.
Oh,
So
for
now
heavens.
maybe you already talked about it, but
What?
Philadelphia was good. I'm sorry. If I,
Incredible. I absolutely love it, the
yeah,
city.
it seemed like it
am
from what I saw.
just amazed by that city. I have a friend who does recruitment for hospitals, and he's like,
I can get ya.
He's like, I have a recruiter with every hospital in that city, and I'm like, all right, throw out a couple, see what comes back.
Oh, fuck you.
Now, please, October is going to hit, and I'm going to be all over it. It was warm, beautiful, beautiful weather. It's a fantastic city, and
Warm. Do they have like Indian summer?
yeah, we were ending. Well, you know what? I don't think so because I don't think they'd had a full on cooled off
Yeah.
period yet. So I think they have
Still
to.
enjoying.
Yeah,
Now,
still
forget-
enjoying late summer, and but they had a miserable, just like the rest of the East Coast. No one has air conditioning, and they tell you,
that's bad.
Yeah,
and
I
they
remember
had
that
that
happening.
same heat wave that everybody else did. So it was just as miserable there as they were like in Boston and everywhere else I was.
And you've probably mentioned it, but I've missed it somewhere. First time visitor? Second? Third?
We're gonna say it's the third time. The first time I was very young. It was sometime around the bicentennial.
Oh my God, you were 7 years old.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then I was there again with my mom at some point that I vaguely remember. It was kind of in and out, and we were probably both drinking. I don't think.
Okay.
For some reason, and then I got dropped off at the train station there from a wedding in Scranton.
Okay.
Somebody at the wedding, and I had it was somebody's sister. We had hit it off, and I told her I was going to take the bus from Scranton to New York City to go visit people. She was like, well, I can drive you to Philadelphia and get you like most of the way there on her way to Baltimore. So she had dropped me off there, but I had never like
Experienced the city.
in the adult thing
Right.
to go around and just look at everything. And then as a American history buff, it was
Sure.
a wet fucking dream, and it just kept getting better and better and better. And we added an extra 24 hours to the day. The conference ended at noon, but I didn't feel like rushing that day when I was booking it, so I'm like, I'll just leave Monday. Let's just leave Monday
Oh, that's
morning.
nice.
And then it was like, well, there's a direct flight at 1:55, so that way you get the whole day in the hotel. We're used to getting up early by then, so we just walked, and the most incredible about everything we saw Independence Hall, we saw the Capitol building, which I fell in love with, and I bought souvenirs for like the first time in all
Oh
of my
my
travels.
gosh.
I actually bought a souvenir. And then we went to the girl that I was with she kept mentioning Macy's, and trying to get to Macy's. And so that day I'm like, we're walking the city like a Costco. Like we were really like getting through it. The market, I'm like, if Macy's is right there on the other side of the market that we want to go to find, breakfast, lunch, let's go into the Macy's and see what that's like. Cause I'm sure it's one of the old East Coast Macy's.
Oh yeah,
And if it's-
multi-level.
And it's not the first Macy's, it's the second Macy's, but it's the bigger one.
Is Macy's from that city?
Macy's he's like John Wanamaker is the guy's name that started it or something. He's the one that came up with the customer is always right.
I'd ask you to
stuff.
Google that, but it's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, and I've been
do it.
meaning
I'm gonna
to
prove
what
you
his
wrong.
connection is to Macy's, but Macy's first location is the one in Herald Square in New York.
Oh, okay, sure.
But the bigger one, his second store is the bigger one. That's in Philadelphia, and they took an old, I can't remember what it was, but it has one of the world's largest pipe organs. So this Macy's is five or six stories high. It's in this gorgeous, looks like Grand Central Terminal, with a 3 or 4 story pipe organ as like the dominating thing. And I was
That's
like,
cool.
The store was so beautiful, and like the architecture of it, and
And does the organist play the entire time the store's open?
well, no, that's what I'm thinking. On like at Christmas time, they must just do this
Oh,
up right.
Oh, of course they
Because
would.
This pipe organ's so loud that I'm thinking if you were trying to like shop or have a peaceful day and you got like a 3-story pipe organ, Yeah.
Yeah.
and
probably.
with all the balconies looking over the main gallery, and it was so cool because they have this. It's called Meet Me at the Eagle, and it's this giant sculpture of an eagle that came from Germany. They had to reinforce the floor for it, and it's a thing in the city to tell someone to meet you at the Eagle. It means downtown in Macy's.
Well, that's
But
cool.
they had all these balconies overlooking it, and I got my nipples got hard just thinking about it. I'm like, at Christmas time, I want to choreograph it. I want everybody doing the Carol of the Bells from the balcony while they go nuts on that big fucking organ.
Macy's founders is Isidore Straus and Roland Hussey Macy.
Right, and they died in the Titanic.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
didn't know that.
Wow.
Yes.
So they died in 1912.
They went down in the Titanic. So what this Wanamaker's connection
I didn't-
was?
Yeah,
Wha-
Wanamaker's
How
is the
weird.
first department store in Philadelphia. He also opened his first New York store in New York City in 1896, and it looks like as maybe that became I don't
Macy's.
know.
Yeah, it looks like they combined somehow and they
Yeah.
became Macy's. But he invented the thing the customer's always right and all these different things, and it was a beautiful, beautiful city and everything about it. But my favorite thing, and I've been trying to find the quotes from it. So if you're listening,
Oh, and he
it's
was really into organs. He had a big Welty Philharmonic organ in his home.
So you guys had a lot in common.
giant organs, perfect for me.
Very good, Marnie.
Various colors.
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, he predominantly prefers one.
Well, and some
Yeah.
of them were missing.
The darker the organ, the sweeter the
different-
juice. Yeah.
the
Different
sweeter the
keys.
song.
were-
Just stay with
Song.
music.
They were missing the keys.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
one pedal was gone.
But in front of
They call him Flipper.
as you do the whole, and we had so much fun. We did so much goofy touristy shit just to have fun. We did the haunted Philadelphia tour.
Those are fun
which
when
was-
you really just
should
take them for
be.
fun and do them at night. And,
to have a beautiful fall night and
Oh,
and just
God,
kind of
the
walk around the
fall.
city and hear these goofy ghost stories. But they were so much
Yeah.
fun. And then
I'm
we
sure
went.
Philadelphia has a lot of them.
Oh yeah, and complete bullshit. But who cares? And the one we thought we were breaking into the garden, and then we went back the next day, and we were in the wrong garden. We were in the wrong people's backyards.
perfect.
But the city's all gardens, and all the businesses have to donate a certain percentage of their sales to art, and they have all these art exhibits all over.
Which was the Monopoly thing
So
you
the
saw.
one was Milton. It was all and I don't know if it was Milton Bradley, but it was all the games. So it was dominoes, checkers, Sorry, Monopoly pieces, and it was this whole plaza with like giant
That's so cool.
game board pieces. That was really fun.
in fact, you sent me a thing to Google was it Move Art? Move something? What is it?
Yeah, something like that.
You sent me a text so you can actually look at it and see all of the game pieces because I was asking him there's a large, huge iron that would be part of the Monopoly set. And I asked him how, in comparison, he says it comes up to his chest, the iron. So I mean, that's how tall it is. Not that he's a
Your Move Art.
Yeah,
Move
Your
Art.
Move
Your
Art
Move Art.
installation in Philly. So, but and that was fantastic. And it was one of those things where taking
Your
pictures
Move,
of it was never going to do it any justice because of the scale of it. You need an aerial shot.
Right.
But so outside of Independence, the Independence Center, because the Liberty Bell, probably because of 9/11, is no longer up in the Liberty Hall. It's down in a bulletproof glass.
down below ground or something.
No, yeah, and then there's Washington.
Oh wait, the bell.
Yeah, Washington's house. They excavated it and found his slave quarters. That's ironically right in front of the Liberty Bell is where Washington kept his slaves and all this crazy stuff. But in front of the actual Independence Center, it's called Indelible by Allison Sky, and I've been trying to find the quotes that are on there, and it's very strange. It takes all the parts of the and it's a wall thing. It's probably 30 feet high by 30 feet wide, and it's all the parts of the Declaration of Independence that were voted out by the slave states, all the things that had to do with abolishing slavery in the
really?
Declaration.
Wow.
That all the slave states,
The people have probably forgotten or even knew they were part of it.
yeah, so
Okay.
they voted it out because it was voted on and it was rearranged and edited. So all those parts were gone. So it took all these parts in different segments of that part of the Declaration of Independence, and then it had in the parts that were really oh my God, you can't have that and have slaves. You had to stand directly in front of it as soon as you lost, and it was kind of as soon as you lost sight of freedom, you couldn't see it anymore. You had to stand right in front of it, or it would turn into a mirage, and you couldn't read the words.
Wow.
And then they had 8 quotes, and they were by Abigail Adams, Martin Luther King, a Chinese diplomat, a Native American leader, and it was all about independence and freedom and just the irony of why are we in your country fighting for equal rights when you have a Declaration of Independence? And it was right down the line of every part of suffrage or any part of someone fighting for equal rights. And I'm this is a city that just debates, you know what I mean? As we're in this time of my way or nothing, that you see all these conflicting ideas and these reasonable minds coming together and having these great arguments. And to sit we sat in the first Congress, we sat in the first Senate. It was because it was the Capitol for 10 years. Just amazing to be in the same room with these people that actually had intelligent debates from the Enlightenment. Just beautiful. And then a fabulous city with fantastic food.
Nice.
So much fun. And we
Gosh,
walked
did
the
you
whole
go
thing.
there?
Did you ever have the cheesesteak or no?
I had cheesesteak so many fucking times in so many
I thought
ways.
you said that you have the one post I saw. You were I love this place, and I haven't even had.
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese is yes, that's what
But
he
I
said.
finally,
That's what it was.
I finally
Okay,
flipped it over, and
okay.
cream cheese comes from Illinois. Just
Oh,
strangely
really?
named
Okay.
Philadelphia. Yeah, not from there at all.
I did not know that.
that's
We've
cool.
I
learned
was
something.
thinking. I read it fast, obviously,
And
I
trust
thought-
me, if it was from Philadelphia, it would have been called Ben Franklin's cream cheese or William Penn.
Made with electricity.
So it's seriously, if you want to go, I'll go back again.
You're really you're really selling me on it.
I
was there as a kid,
All the
but-
cities I've been to, it was in my top 2. I was just not prepared to love that city that much.
I did
Every part of it.
My family did when I was in high school, a history kind of tour, all through the South and all up the East Coast and up into, we did a lot of battlefields and historical monuments, and it was very, very cool. And by the time we cut down and went through Philadelphia to go to Illinois and visit our family and come home, I was real over the trip. It lasted for a month, and I was just oh my God. And I remember the bell. And I remember a couple of other pieces, a couple little
remember the
tours,
bell.
but I just I was so over history at that point as a
Yeah.
15-year-old girl.
well, as a 15, sure.
And I knew I had seen the bell. There was things, but and you rang a bell, if you will.
Oh, but
Yeah,
thank you. Very
and
good.
we'll ring a bell.
painful.
Nice.
But and it was the the Museum of Modern Art where the Rocky runs up the stairs, and we did the double-decker tour on an absolutely pristine day.
so
We were staying
great.
right on the Delaware River. Our hotel, my room was looking north at the bridge. At the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. It was just an amazing trip. And we had
I'm
a lot
excited.
of time, because the conference started at the crack of butt crack dawn and went till 4 o'clock. So then it was our time. We're both night people. So we had all this nighttime
cool.
to and we just wandered and walked everywhere.
Did you sleep at all?
Yeah.
No, almost
Any
none.
sleeping?
Nope.
Well, then the irony in that is he comes home and his body doesn't know what the fuck schedule he's on, and he can't sleep now.
I'm going home and drugging myself. We're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 hours away from like every drug. I'm
Yeah.
going to do the full Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
As I
Well,
threaten
Stop, I
occasionally.
say.
As long as you don't do the Conrad Murray, we're fine.
Yeah, but my just as dead as the other one.
No, I don't want to do Heath Ledger either.
Yeah, but my
Do the
house
Judy
is very
Garland.
clean because that's what I've been doing.
I was thinking that would maybe be the better choice, but Judy Garland didn't end well either.
No, huh?
I'll go out singing.
Not the Elvis.
Not,
Yeah, and we can't fit this into entertainment, but
But you're taking sleeping pills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. But one of the best little adventures was, we had a couple dreams. Like we wanted to have Italian food, we wanted to have seafood, and we went to this wonderful Italian restaurant. And we get there, and and we had hunted for it. We looked through all these guides. We were Googling and Yelping everything, and we found this restaurant that sounded kind of charming. We liked the menu, and we walked there, and the lady's like, "Do you have reservations?" And we're like, "No." She's like, "Well, do you mind sitting in our garden?" We were like, "No, it's
Fuck
a
no.
we're like, it's a lovely night. Like it was threatening to rain, but it was a lovely night. It's this gorgeous garden in the middle of the city, and like my favorite. But they have one building that looks kind of like the Chrysler Building, but it's blue because everything in Pennsylvania, everything in Philadelphia is based on reflecting nature. So like the skyscrapers are all in blue, so they look like
they
the
look like
sky,
the sky.
reflect the sky, and it was gorgeous. But it looks just like the Chrysler Building. That was like right above our table that we were looking right at.
And that was the worst seat in the house?
Yeah, and she was making it sound like we were going to go sit in the basement in the timeout zone. And it was lovely. The food was wonderful. And then just
No
as our-
reservation. No soup for you. Time
yeah,
out.
no
Right.
soup for you. Just as our entrees were coming, it started to really rain, and they were nice. They're like, we have a closed-off room if you'd like to come in. It was a lovely little, like a side parlor, because it was an old house. So it was like a side parlor that they opened up for everybody that was on the patio, and we had a beautiful dinner. Decide it's kind of raining, so we're going to, like, run out of the restaurant and just find a pub. We're like, just run, find a pub. There's been a pub on every corner or some kind of bar. First thing that says bar and grill, we're going to run in and have a drink. So we're running, we're laughing, we're trying to share one umbrella between the three of us. We walk in this cute little club, and they had a great wine selection. The guy was nice. The person that was with us went up to go to the bathroom. He's like, "Oh my God, you got to go upstairs. It's a jazz club upstairs."
Oh my God.
So here we are. We're having lovely drinks downstairs. We're laughing our asses off at getting caught in the, kind of like what we did that night with our bikes. Like
Okay.
how fun it is to just be caught in the rain and on your way on an adventure and trying to stay dry and like any port in a storm.
Yeah.
We go upstairs. It's this fabulous jazz club with a guy playing the horn and a piano player that
I am
just sings like
really
melted
into your
caramel
trip.
sauce.
Oh.
They're up there playing, so we take our drinks up there. We're sitting with them, and the guy's like, there's only like 10 or 11 people in there. He's like, "Anybody want to sing?" It's like, "I'll sing a song."
And everybody's like, "Oh shit, Al's gonna sing."
So
Because do they know you sing, or do they?
no, they had no idea.
Okay, so you're attacking them from the
All
side.
sides.
Okay.
So I do a little ditty, and the guy's like, I don't know anything, but he's got iPads and iPhones, and he's pulling up the music, and he's able to transpose. He was like a musical genius and sang like melted caramel. His voice was from heaven, and he was hot. And the horn player was really kind of cool with the towel over his head because he was all wet. So he was all sexy and
I
everything.
literally am telling Kelly right now, book a trip to Philadelphia. We're going. I literally am like,
And
let's go
there's
to
like three
Philadelphia.
black ladies doing backup
Sold.
harmonies
Sold.
for them, and we're having so much fun. So then I was like, I kind of got the vibe of what he was pushing. So I was like, "Do you know You Don't Know Me" by Ray Charles? And so the horn player's
God,
kind of working it out and teaching him how to play it, and they're using Google. And he's like, "All right, come on up." He's like, "We got it." And so
I mean, do you know this?
So
you know this
I
one
had the
song?
lyrics on my phone, and they had it, and we just did the cool menthol stylings of Missy Eldo's Ray Charles, and it was
Missy L
fantastic.
on the mic.
You'll never know the one who loves me so. You don't know me.
You don't know me. It was
You don't know me.
no,
No,
it's
no.
You don't own me.
Is that it?
That's You Don't
Oh,
Own Me.
You Don't Own Me, yeah.
You Don't Know Me is it was actually an Eddie Arnold song from way back
Oh,
in the
it
day,
is? Yeah,
and
it
then Eddie Arnold wrote it, and then Ray Charles recorded it in the
does that
'60s.
go?
It's You'll never know the one who loves me so. No, you don't know me.
Who does You Don't Own Me?
The girls from from Three Wives Club.
First Wives Club.
First
No,
Wives
they're
Club.
not the only ones.
No,
that
No,
sing
no,
it.
no,
It's an
no.
old, like,
you know,
Leslie Gore
Gore
song.
isn't.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
look
own
at
me.
you. Good.
I'm not one
Good.
of your little toys.
Yeah.
You don't
Oh,
own
yeah,
me. That's
okay.
Leslie Gore. And then the girls in First Wives Club did it. That
Ba,
version.
ba, ba, ba,
Ba, ba,
ba, ba. Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember First Wives Club.
Dun, dun, da, da,
I mean,
da,
saw
dun.
it. I think
Yeah.
maybe.
But this one is the You Give Your Hand to Me.
And then you say goodbye.
And then you say goodbye, and you
I watch you walk away
and
beside the
lucky
other guy. You'll never know the one who loved you so because you don't know me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
it's
and I don't
fantastic.
know that. And I don't know that song.
Well, but you know,
So-
I'm gonna write down, and when we're done with the show, because we can't play it on this show, I'm gonna take it in the living room. We're gonna play the goddamn thing
Oh, I like
want you to,
it.
because we have broken the ball. We've christened the ship on getting you
That's
an interview.
actually true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, now that we've crossed the threshold of Live and More's Donna Summer. Oh, by the way,
We've opened the doors.
Speaking of Donna Summer, I got a little snarky remark. Somebody posted on. There's something I follow on Facebook, and they posted something in regards to the Pride that I'm hosting this weekend up in Cottonwood.
right,
It's the
right.
Sedona Verde Valley Pride, which I'm really honestly very excited
It's
to
so
go do
beautiful.
because A, it's gorgeous, and B, it's not Phoenix Pride. I don't know every face, though there will be some familiar faces up
Yeah.
there that are going from Tucson, Phoenix, and surrounding areas. I'm very excited to go to a smaller town's Pride because it's just like the entire town's coming out for this, and
Yeah.
up there.
And a lot of dogs.
And they really do. The whole town comes out.
The cool thing about that town, or in those little areas up there, is the people that live there are so chill and so laid back that, yeah, you're gay, who fucking cares? Like,
Yeah.
really, that's their attitude. They don't care. The bars are gay, straight. Nobody cares. People come and go and do their thing.
Yeah.
Nobody worries about it. Like Phoenix in the big city where you got all these big, the cityfied people and all this stuff. Everybody's all up in your shit and wants to know what's going on. They don't care. They have a wine bar. You're gay. Come on, sit down. They don't care. I just love that. And so I'm very curious to see how that goes this weekend. But somebody made a comment on one of the pages about something in reference to a George Michael song, and then somebody followed up, well, don't worry, Clayton will be up there this weekend. He'll help you figure out everything to do with George Michael's. And I immediately got pissed.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm like, thank you, I'll be there this weekend, but let's all remember that it's George Michael, just like it's not Donna Summers. And they're like,
Only one of them.
And they're like, wow, kind of sensitive about that. And I'm like, well, it's just, we have to say it right. It's not Donna, it is Donna Summers' song, but it's not performed by Donna Summers. It's not George Michael's. And that just drives me nuts. And it drives him nuts too. I know it does. So I got
But at least they don't call her Diana Summer.
or Donna Ross.
Donna
get,
Ross, yeah. There was a brief time where they overlapped.
It's not
They
as
overlap
sensitive
there.
to me, but I'm from Illinois, and so we get a lot of people who really don't get it, and it's Illinois or Illinoisy.
Right.
I've heard
Oh.
actually.
Well,
Illinoisy.
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Moines.
I always get Missouri. I'm like,
Sure.
no, I am from Missouri.
Yeah.
Well, no, but apparently you're not from Missouri because you're doing. No, it's Missouri.
Right.
It's Illinois. It's Des Moines. It's
And it's
Missouri.
Donna fucking Summer.
Donna Summer. God damn it. We'll figure it out,
Well
right?
done.
7:36. It's hour one. It's the show with Clayton McKee. That is me alongside Katie June, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. We are in Studio C for the duration of the show, which ends about 10 o'clock our time. We'd like to thank Kuwait and United States. Those people are listening from somewhere in the great
Welcome,
beyond.
Kuwait again.
Kuwait has been, in fact, I've been watching.
Never bell.
I've been watching the past several days through the app. Kuwait is a regular listener. They're on a lot. So again, the single person who is, I don't mean single as in you're not with somebody. I mean the one person listening out there in Kuwait. I would like them to know. Where's your bell?
I don't know.
She lost her bell.
Oh, I must have it.
He's a bell hog.
I am
So
Bell
the-
Bell
Whore.
whore.
So the people in Kuwait,
Thank
if you
you.
would, give us a shout in the chat room. Say hi. Let us know who you are,
Kuwait.
what you're doing.
Yeah, Kuwait.
We'd like to know why you found us, how you found us, and what you're doing.
And they've been a regular listener at least since
yes, for
like,
quite some
August,
time.
September, I think.
Absolutely, they have been.
Of last year.
Coming
Yeah,
back
it's
with
been a
some,
while.
we got plenty of goings on. Entertainment coming up. I'm sure, Katie, based on the game last night, you've got some sports
it
coming
was
up.
exciting.
Marnie and I have some headlines, and we'll get through the rest of it by hook or by crook. We'll be back right after this on Q Talk America.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
I'm straight.
I'm gay.
I'm bisexual, and I give a damn about equality.
Want to know why?
Because one hate crime is committed approximately every hour of every day in this country.
Imagine walking down the street and wondering if this is the day you'll get beaten up or even killed simply because of who you are.
Because many gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender teens who come out to their parents are thrown out of their homes.
Imagine confiding in the people you trust most, only to be rejected and tossed out with no place to go.
Because during the past 16 years, over 13,000 men and women have been discharged from the military for being gay.
Imagine being willing to sacrifice your life to protect and defend this country, only to be kicked out of the military because of who you love.
These are just a few of the reasons why we care about equality.
It is time for things to change.
We all have to get involved.
We all have to give a damn.
I give a damn.
Do you?
Join us at WeGiveADamn.org to learn more.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Well, okay, here we go with some headlines on this Tuesday, the 24th of September, 2013, on Q Talk America.
I felt like that needed a bell. I felt like there was an empty space
Salvation
there.
Army says gays need to be put to death.
Can't say Obama was legitimately elected.
Well, that didn't take long.
Rubio's an ass.
Ferrari drivers feel that cops are profiling them.
From hiccuping to murder, in jail for the rest of your life.
Casket shows up with no body.
Lance Bass says, I'm not going to out anybody.
And a man with some Neosporin and a napkin. Well, we'll tell you more about that in a second. I'm sure you might want to. You might want to read ahead.
Can't get that taste out of my mouth.
No.
You may want to read ahead. I'm not sure.
What's happening there?
Well, in a story that, well, we're going to go in reverse of these. We always know that our friends, and Al calls it the penis of America. It's Florida.
Welcome to all of them.
Florida. Welcome to all of them. In fact, all the listeners in Florida right now, if you'd like to chime in and let us know, well, if anybody is. Port St. Lucie, Florida. A man with some Neosporin and a napkin is accused of masturbating while watching women shop in a department store.
Oh, I saw this story.
According to a report from the ABC affiliate WPBF, George Mesa, who is 50 years old, is seen in the area outlet store's surveillance tapes, crouching down and peering through aisles, all the while pleasuring himself through a hole in his pants pocket. Mesa told detectives that he was there shopping on behalf of his daughter, but oddly had no money on him. He did, however, admit to the act when confronted with the surveillance video. He was arrested on a charge of disorderly conduct, and at press time, there was no listing of legal representation.
So kind of crouching tiger, hidden masturbator?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, something like that a little bit.
Hidden wanker.
Neosporin, aisle 5. Oh,
right.
Neosporin.
So Neosporin...
He has sores.
I have a theory. He's been masturbating so much, he's caused chafing.
Something.
So now he's prophylactically masturbating with Neosporin.
That's just not even,
Probably accurate, though. I'm going to
I'm
say...
certain it's probably accurate.
Just creepy all around.
He was dry humping for so long and had a little rug burn. And
the creep factor is a definite on that one. Absolutely.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy's running around the store hiding behind end caps on aisles and looking around and stuff. You look suspicious, sir, regardless of what your left hand is. I'm not sure, but you look weird.
Weirdo.
And the funny thing is, when you read it the exact same way that you said it out loud the same way that I read it in my mind. I thought he was looking through a hole in his pants, but he was masturbating through a hole in his pants.
Sir, can you raise your left hand? Nope. I cannot.
So I thought he was like, what's kind of obvious if he's holding up his pants. And it's just the wording of that particular
holding his
sentence.
pant with one hand, masturbating with the other hand.
I've already got him off and I got the Neosporin on, so I'm just going to peek at you through the crotch.
I hope they're dark shorts, sir. Go ahead, Marnie.
Well, you know how everybody likes that whole birther issue.
Oh, they don't let it die.
Oh my God!
They
they won't even let it be born.
Right. It truly was never born, apparently. So Blake Farenthold.
Sure.
Farenthold.
Work it however you need to.
From Texas.
Oh.
Weird.
The taint.
Well, I mean, you have Texas.
That's
and then you have
more the
Florida.
balls.
Sack. Ball sack.
He was looking through his pants. No.
So close.
Anyway, he was on Chris Matthews.
Good.
Like you do.
Sure. And people were talking about Cruz, about the fact that he's an American.
No, but Ted Cruz, senator, is born in Canada of Cuban American descent, but born in Canada.
Right. And so now
he wants to be president.
Run for president.
Yeah. So this is kind of an issue.
Yeah.
Because they brought up all that other shit. Little Republican man. They brought up all the shit about Barack. Well, they're kind of going back and forth.
I like how you call him Barack because you're best friends.
Oh, yeah.
We're close.
Barry, if you smoke pot with him.
Well, it depends.
The B man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Big B.
Farenthold just kept trying to pass everything because Chris Matthews kept going back to him about, well, okay, so what's the difference between Cruz and Obama, according to you? So how can you be backing him? And he just kept pushing it off. And he says, Matthews, stick to the point, Congressman. He's as eligible as Obama is. Because apparently now he's trying to go with it and say, well, you guys all said it's fine that Barack had the African dad. So why are you giving Cruz so much shit?
Because he had a Cuban dad, right?
Right. And he was born in Canada.
He wasn't even fucking born. That's the
thing.
That's
He's
the
not
big
U.S.
deal.
born.
Yeah. Is that Obama is U.S. born. I don't care where his parents are from. He was fucking born in the United States.
Big
this
difference.
dickhead's parents aren't from here, and he wasn't born in here.
And
Saying-
because John McCain wasn't born in the U.S. John McCain was born in Guam, or
But John,
But on a base.
a U.S. territory,
base, right?
a U.S.
and
base.
of United States citizens,
right?
Yeah, they kept going back and forth because
Okay.
this guy wasn't making any sense. Like, you can't, apples and
It
oranges.
was real embarrassing. Chris Matthews was shutting him
Right,
down.
big,
Oh,
like,
good.
big
Okay.
time. Like, what are you doing?
Now, are you gonna get to what he said?
says, can you repeat Matthews? to this
Chris
guy.
Matthews, okay.
Says to Farenthold, can you repeat after me? He was legitimately elected president. President Obama was elected president. Legitimately, Matthews says. The people elected him, yes, Farenthold exclaimed. So he was a natural-born citizen, Matthews pressed. I didn't make that judgment when he was brought in. Well, everybody watching knows what you're doing. You're dodgeballing. I mean, he kept, like, just
I wish he would have even been more
forward.
They went one more quarter turn, and
Oh,
here's
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
they
sorry.
went one more quarter turn, and where he landed on was because it didn't matter what country he was born in, because both of his parents aren't American.
Right. It says his mom
is Canadian.
No, mom is an American born.
Oh, and dad is a Canadian Cuban.
Right. Matthews explained how he has contended in the past that because Cruz has an American-born mother, he's eligible to run for president.
Right. But not Obama, even though
Obama has an American-born mother.
Right. But that's what they're saying. So
I get it.
They have
Right.
to beep. So what they landed on was because he's not born. He's not born of both American parents, and he's born on foreign soil and a foreign citizen because he denounced his Canadian citizenship.
Yep.
With like was a Canadian.
I wish
citizen.
he would just go back.
Like,
yeah, bye.
No,
Take
but like
'em.
Obama never claimed to have. That's the whole thing about the college records was did he
Yes.
get grants as a foreign student?
No.
Like that, but that's one of their things. They're saying that at some point Obama claimed Kenyan citizenship. Or actually Indonesia.
But that did not happen.
But no, because that's why the college transcripts they want to see. That's why
I
Trump-
literally
That's why
hope
they
they
keep
all
pushing all of it.
jump
That's
off
why
a
they
cliff.
keep pushing
Kill
all
yourselves.
of it because they're saying that he applied for foreign
Right.
aid to go to school. So where this guy lands is, as long as one of your parents is an American citizen, it doesn't matter where you're born. And so Chris Matthews is like, there it is.
There you have it.
Right.
His mother's American. It doesn't matter where he was born. He's like, well, that's still in the Americas. And Chris Matthews was like,
oh my God.
he's like, I want you to tell me tomorrow that Cuba or Canada is the
in the
United
American.
States.
American.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, that interview
Or even the territory of.
it was a tennis match where they didn't just play tennis; they took a couple machine guns out
love
and went
it.
at each other.
Oh, yeah.
love
Chris
it.
Matthews was the bomb.
Okay, so
love
because I don't watch Chris Matthews,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up because I would love to watch that.
Yeah,
just
he's
to
a
see how
super
that is.
smarty
I'll
patardi.
send it to you. I can forward you the thing.
Do.
'Cause it has the link with the sparring on it, and I only watched like right at the beginning, and then I
Oh,
just
no,
went into the
Oh, I would
article.
enjoy that. Yeah, let's
Because
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
everybody unwinds. Like
Sure.
everybody just goes a little batshit.
enjoy that.
I like it.
Okay, well, now we're all aware of all of the flooding and everything that happened up in Colorado. Well, as we all know, the way things work, Colorado is north of New Mexico, so water runs downhill. Or to the south, trying to get to greater pools of water, which are known as the oceans, to those of you who don't get outside the mainland. Flooding in New
Long
Mexico.
way to an ocean though on that course.
Yeah, but you'll get there.
Oh, yeah,
You'll
someday.
get there. You'll get there. Flooding in New Mexico washed up an unexpected item into one small city, a casket. The Daily Times reports that a rusty casket washed up in a dry creek wash near Aztec Speedway during the recent flooding in northwestern New Mexico. The casket's appearance mystified Aztec, New Mexico residents. That's written wrong. The casket's appearance mystified Aztec Well Services employees when an employee opened it to find that what he thought were going to be bones, it was just full of junk and trash. Aztec Police Sergeant Joseph Gonzalez verified that the casket did not indeed contain any body parts, but in fact contained various bits of trash, garbage, towels, and junk from whoever owned this casket. Anti-zoning advocate Carl Banowski, who lives near where the bodiless coffin was found, says he's sure the mysterious casket is his. He says one of his 3 caskets washed away during a recent monsoon rain.
How many times is he planning on dying?
Well, I don't know why he bought them. I mean, was it a good deal? Was it a 3-fer? I don't know. I don't know what the special was. I mean, now granted,
set of 4, missing 1.
Yeah, but I don't know. He says he collects old cars, but had purchased the casket at an auction back in 1980.
So he's a hoarder.
You are ready.
Yeah.
prepare.
But he keeps garbage in it for now.
It's a storage. It's just a storage nook right now. That's all it is.
It totally
And
Clearly, the burp the seal thing isn't
Yeah,
working.
no, it's working
I
perfectly
just-
because it floated away.
I'm looking.
My bad.
I just re-cleaned out my garage, and I'm looking for some more storage.
Find a casket?
Clearly,
Yeah.
I need a casket.
You never know.
mean, it's the new place to put
Well,
your stuff.
you're just lounging. I mean, take it out in the backyard, open it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, and when I
Sun,
die,
get a little
there you have
sun.
it.
I mean, it's not as comfortable as a hammock, but still.
Maybe not,
You
right?
know-
Well, and it becomes a little
Oh, that
intrusive 'cause
satin
it gives you a
lining,
little
though,
shade.
just looks delightful.
Yeah.
You can put a sound
but
system in
gets
it.
so hot.
You can come over and use mine.
That'd be me.
now.
What's the thread count in this fucker?
Oh, I'm sure you can ask.
Well,
I remember.
depends on
I
what you
do
wanna pay
want
for.
speakers. No, I'm not getting buried though.
yeah, me
I'm
too.
not getting buried
they'll-
either.
Fuck no.
They'll just be burning those.
For
No,
the
no need.
record, no, and it's a steel box. You don't know.
I'm donating everything,
Pine box.
provided that anything is
Well,
still
Card-
useful.
I
cardboard.
doubt that. I
Certainly
mean,
not my liver,
They
but
could not
hopefully
take
anything else is useful, and then burn me up
Whatever
and
burns.
spread me
Well,
around
and
cool
I
places.
told Mom because when some other people that we have known have passed away, and we were looking for ways of cremating. They didn't have any money, and they were looking all around. Well, I just told my mom, we have that fire pit out back. Just put an apple in my mouth.
Okay,
and
the fire
turn
pit.
me.
The fire pit is 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet.
What's
They're
your
gonna
point?
just cut you up in chunks
You
and
might
just
be
put
more
you in
bendy.
piece by
You'll be
piece.
really bendy when
no,
you're
I'm just
dead.
saying you can do tonight. It's an
I
arm.
have been
Dun,
watching
dun,
Dexter
dun,
for
dun,
8
dun,
years. I am
dun,
perfectly happy to cut you
Fine.
one.
See,
I'm
he's
willing
fine.
to do it.
Really?
Elvin.
I'm not gonna feel anything. I don't care. Just I want
Oh,
the
if I
apple
could
in
wear
the
the
mouth and
Dexter costume and the mask.
Is it weird that I sort of want to be there as your assistant? Is that weird?
Yeah, that's really weird.
By the way,
Just
That's
see
really
how it
weird.
goes.
kind of changing the plan now. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Because now I feel kind of uncomfortable.
Now only
about
certain people
A
are
little
permitted to
bit
be
violated.
involved.
Well, you know I'll have an
little
iPod playing
violated.
good music.
it. That's true. And
We will play Last Dance.
Yes.
Make you look great, and then I'll spread you somewhere
Yeah.
really fucking awesome.
And if the fire
Okay.
goes,
Now,
Ouch.
that sounded
Oh,
bad.
It did again.
Yeah.
Again.
She'll be dead. Remember that.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, I want my ashes to be
Necrophilia.
spread in like really cool places. So
What would be a really cool place? Let's
I'm gonna go
top-
back to that lake I was just. at.
and I want to
Oh,
be
okay, Table Rock Lake in Branson?
somewhere on a mountain. I want to be when my family or children at whatever point that I die are skiing. Take me up on the ski lift. When I'm dead,
Yeah.
take me on the ski lift,
No.
and while you're riding on the ski lift, just like
And,
Shake
and
your arm.
people
Shake me
underneath
around.
are like,
yeah,
what is it, Mount St. Helen? What
that
the-
snow tastes like vodka.
you,
Right.
I get the.
so I'm a ski. I'm maybe also like a lake.
Catch a
maybe.
Katie flake on your tongue.
Yeah, maybe I want to be split up and spread a lot of places. I'm spread all over.
Well, we did that with. I mean, that's still actually going on for Woody.
Well, Woody hasn't even found his final resting spots.
No.
I mean,
Where
Woody's,
have you spread him?
Woody's still in my living room.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
he's not been spread
have-
anywhere.
No, I haven't.
I have quite a bit of him, and he's gone wherever I've gone, which basically just means Minnesota.
For those of you
California,
wondering
and
what we're
here,
talking
but,
about, a
you
friend of
know.
ours many years ago passed away. His name was Woody, otherwise known as Suzanne Target. And when after he passed, he was cremated, and his mother brought back all of his ashes and dispersed them to all of his friends in little, is it Jim Beam bottles,
Yeah.
That
little
is
airplane bottles.
amazing.
So Woody's still
I'm
in
on
my
board with this whole story.
Woody's still in the living room.
Well, and there's no two ways about it. Ridiculously, should have had him with me going to
bitch.
Missouri.
He's
I
pissed
know.
at you.
Oh,
right
you have
now.
no idea, haunting, but
Yeah.
which he's been doing for years anyway.
And I
But-
like the splitting up because I want a little bit in off the Sunset
Isn't
Cliffs.
that kind of a fun? That's a fun idea.
Yeah, and I went a
Kind
little
of.
bit to
think
go
it's a
over. I went a
brilliant
little bit
idea.
to go over Niagara Falls just because of some cool pictures
Sure.
I've taken.
Sure. Yeah. But you
I
two are
used
not
to-
cutting me up.
That
That's
one would
all
be
that
funny
there
though.
is
Is
to
to
it.
do a montage. Here's pictures of at the falls. Here's pictures about in the falls.
Oh, that would be fun.
At the service.
Right before the falls.
Now
in
I,
the falls.
now I feel like we have a travel project.
So at the celebration of life that is 6 months after you pass, in the slideshow montage, we'll do that. So
Sure.
Al here, Al there, and now
Why are we waiting?
Yeah, I
180
can't remember.
days?
Why are we waiting 6 months?
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Not for me.
Is that
You
a
just
thing that
make
we're
that
doing?
up?
You won't be involved.
You're not going to care.
Because
Yeah,
I
you won't
just
care.
all of a sudden when you said that, I feel like that's a real thing that Al would like, a weird stipulation that he would put on it. Like
Yo,
you have to wait 6 months,
It does
and
sound,
here's why.
It does
sounds
sound
very
just
Al.
as pain in the assy as I am, but
Remarkably.
it didn't come
Oh,
from
It
yes.
has to be on a Monday
Yeah.
and a full moon.
Well, it can't be on a Tuesday night for fuck's sake.
It's
God.
certain. Well, no,
Because
we'll
we'll
be
be
very
here.
busy.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Al.
We'll
we
be,
can't
we'll
take
be doing
calls.
a show without you.
You could be in the Jim Beam bottle.
With a lot of quiet time.
all on oxygen and in hover rounds in here. I'm sure.
Not me.
There will
Except
be-
not me
Not
because
me.
I can't back back in. Well, I can sit where he's
You'll
sitting.
sit where he sits, right.
Good.
Well,
When's
maybe-
that going to happen?
Not anytime
Maybe
soon.
that-
I
If I
hope
get the
not.
sleeping pills right
rude.
tonight.
Oh my God.
Stop it.
I just got
No.
fuck you. I just got that desk moved into your room. God damn it.
Not yet. Well,
Exactly.
I don't need that.
Go ahead, Marnie.
So, fucking Rick Rubio. It just makes me shake my head. I mean, really, these people.
Wag a finger.
Yeah, like just I don't get it. So he had gone forward with this nomination for a judge in Florida.
Of course.
And it takes both senators from, whatever, Democrat and Republican, obviously have to say yay to the nomination. And so they put in a nomination for the, like the president would do the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. But then Marco Rubio and Bill Nelson, Democrat, would be chiefly responsible for the federal district court of the state. So Judge William Thomas is who they nominated. And he fit the bill nicely, it says. He grew up in poverty in a large Pennsylvania family, worked hard, succeeded through his legal career. They reviewed his record, Rubio and Nelson, reviewed his record, subjected him to a background check, encouraged the White House to nominate him for the federal bench. 10 months ago, Obama's team agreed, and Thomas was poised to become the first black openly gay man to serve as a federal judge, which is obviously very cool.
Big deal.
Sure.
A really big deal. It wasn't until a few days ago when Rubio announced his opposition to the nomination. And so the minute, in essence, what he did was pulled the nomination.
Sure.
And
Chicken
it
shit.
was, right, exactly. And they say it's it's because of his,
Oh, this is going to be good.
the way that he ruled in 2 cases. And because of the way he ruled in 2 cases, Rubio pulled the nomination.
Tolerant and thoughtful? Are these the 2 things he ruled?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly. They didn't go into what the 2 cases were, but what was stated in here is that if you go back and read the 2 cases, there's absolutely no reason to think that he had done anything crazy in it. But what Rubio had stated was that the concerns were about his fitness for the bench following 2 recent criminal cases. Those concerns include questions about his judicial temperament and his willingness to impose appropriate criminal sentences. And again, people went back and said, huh? Yeah. How is that even possible? But because of everything with him and talking about immigration and going through all of this, all of a sudden there are a lot of things happening that are making him not as much the golden child, it sounds like. Which I don't follow him a ton, so I don't know. I kind of look to you to say...
Rubio's the problem because he's Cuban, and they're trying to pass him off as Mexican so that
Correct.
the Republicans can say they like
Sure.
a Mexican, but he's not.
But is that what the Republicans are backing away?
No, but I think that because gay marriage is coming to Florida, and I think this guy's... My take on it was that gay marriage is coming to Florida, and they don't want to look tolerant in any way.
Okay, because that's what this kind of alludes to, but it doesn't say exactly. It says rather... What the writer of this, Steve Bannon, it says, what I suspect happened is that Rubio endorsed Thomas for the federal bench, then started imagining the attack ads in 2016 primary.
Right, everybody's worried about getting primaried.
Right.
No one wants any of these things to happen, but they want to make sure they don't get primaried in 14 or in 16.
Right.
And that's just it. They don't want the further right crazies to put these ads on because
the Tea Party probably said...
Right, and that's the problem is that the people in Republican primaries that vote don't have no sway in general elections, or Romney would have won, or actually... not Rush Limbaugh. What's the other fat fuck? Newt Gingrich would have actually won.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's these people that are so far to the right that now everybody's watching their step because they don't want the attack ads, because you'll lose the primary. And what no one's paying attention to in these stories is that like Christine O'Donnell was one of these crazies that made it in.
Fucking whack job.
But can't make it all the way.
Sharon Angle. They get through the Republican primary, so the halfway decent Republican
doesn't get
in because he got primaried out, and then the Democrat just wins.
And I feel all set with the halfway decent Republican. Like, I'm on board with a decent, normal
but
Republican.
But the
didn't
thing
know
is,
how good we had it. Like that's the thing. We didn't know how good
I'm
it
on
was
board.
until
That's the thing that I have an
Christine
issue
O'Donnell
with.
got ran up the flagpole
with her witchcrafting. Highlighting
that's actually Bill Maher's genius.
And thank God for that.
Genius. You know, that he was afraid these attack ads would highlight his role in choosing the nation's first openly gay black man to become the federal judge. But the thing is that
for Republicans, that's a double whammy. You got black and gay.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, it's like letting Don Lemon do something.
Right.
Yeah. But what doesn't make sense to me is that there are so many young Republicans that are out there. I'm going with the young Republicans primarily.
But they don't vote in. They have not proven themselves in the primaries yet.
But when I'm going with young Republicans, I'm going like 43 and under because that's what I know. You know what I mean?
And honestly,
I don't think that's young Republicans.
All of the rational Republicans are not coming out in the primaries. That's what we learned in 2010 with the Tea Party, is that the rational people didn't come out to vote. It was the fringe people that put people like Alan Keyes in from Florida. Like,
oh, sure. Okay.
That's the level of crazy.
Because I would think the young Republicans would love Rubio.
Right, and we're going to see it when this 2014 election comes up.
It'll be ugly.
Well, we'll see if it's ugly or if the Republicans take their party back.
Sure.
It's the end of hour one. We have more stimulating conversation, as if any of this hasn't already been. Coming up in the next 2 hours, don't forget Thoughtful Vulgarity is in the end of our third hour. We also have entertainment coming up from Al Perkins, a little sports from Katie June, a couple more headlines from Marnie and myself. Also, the drinking game starts when we come back right after our little crossover break. So many things to do. If you're in the chat room, please say hello. Let us know where you are, what you're doing, and ask us important questions because we like to answer them later when we're drunk because that makes more sense, doesn't it? It's the show. We'll be back right after this.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, 8:01. It is the Tuesday night. You're in studio. Well, not really literally in studio, but you're close. It's Studio C, coming to you live from Central Phoenix. I'm Clayton McKee, along with Katie June, Marnie Reiner, Al Perkins. We make up the cast of what we like to call the show every Tuesday night from 7 to 10 right here on Q Talk America. Thank you for joining us. If you are on land or at sea, we thank you for listening and taking the time to enjoy our little show. We'd like to say hello once again. If you didn't hear us already, say it. We welcome Kuwait, who is listening live.
Hi.
Somebody in Kuwait is. You've not joined us in the chat room. Maybe you can't, and we understand that. But if you can, please give us a shout out. Let us know where you're listening from and how you enjoy the show, or if you do.
And
if you don't, why?
Yeah.
Right. What's causing you to not enjoy
Because
this?
we're willing to make changes.
A couple. Are we not drinking
No,
the
we're
word? Are you taking a panoramic picture or a video?
A video.
Katie June is taking a
good.
video.
Maybe we should start
Oh, and
that
it's a
over.
selfie. Oh my God.
What a
Where is
day
that?
to have a video of me.
Yeah. Well,
you did your hair.
I did.
I know. It looks good.
and that double matte makeup is really working
I
well
think
for you.
it's fabulous.
Very much so. As we do typically at the beginning of each and every second hour, well, mostly, we do a little thing called the drinking game. We start with a little disclaimer that sounds something like this.
And now, a drink-along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
In honor of our upcoming story, I think our drinking word has to be hallelujah.
Amen, brother.
Hallelujah will be our in any praiseworthy.
Oh yeah.
Anything like that? Gotcha. Okay.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That's our Katie. In case you didn't hear her. You heard that? All right. Good.
It was Al speaking.
I really.
I got that.
Usually that's not very.
Even
V
from
across the way is yelling out hallelujah to have a drink.
even from beyond when he passes away and is in ash form, we'll still be able to hear him. And we'll still play that disclaimer.
I can still hear him talking.
God.
He just won't shut up.
He won't. All right. So hallelujah is our drinking word. If you don't have a beverage already, by God, what the hell is wrong with you?
Seriously.
You're obviously not a fan of the show. That's the problem.
Or not a fan of a lot of things. If you're not
Or
drinking.
maybe you don't drink.
Right, because Tyler doesn't drink.
I mean, right?
Exactly.
Tyler.
Marnie's mom.
Get a
she should-
Coca-Cola. A Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Di would be.
I know.
Di.
Right, she doesn't.
Actually, my brother has listened. Not a drinker.
Correct.
So I regress.
So
I think
basically, grab the iced tea and be like,
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
Oh, hallelujah.
I think we told Tyler that he had to drink the sugariest thing possible.
I think, yeah.
So that,
Oh,
like,
so he's
Thank you. So like a month, my brother is like,
Drinking
he
Mountain
doesn't
Dew.
drink alcohol anymore. And so he smokes a lot of cigarettes. That's the thing. Yeah. And he drinks
don't
like
smoke a cigarette every time.
Thank you. That's what I said. But he also drinks like a shit ton of like Monster and like every energy drink he can find. He went to this big giant CA, this big Cocaine Anonymous, like huge weekend party at the Biltmore. It was very cool.
Cocaine Anonymous.
At the Biltmore.
Yes, I know.
Fancy.
Yeah, they have like
Yes.
really good digs. It's a national or international. It's an international
Well,
conference.
thinking
people
celebrities
that do
might show
cocaine
up.
used to have a lot of money, I'm sure. Yeah.
So anyway, he shows up and he says there was the nightclub was like they partied all night long with no drugs, no alcohol, no nothing. And I'm like, that's really cool. And then he's showing me pictures and I'm like, but every single one of you has like 15 Red Bulls like in your hand
Right,
all
right.
at one time.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's just funny. Although I'll take it. I'll take the sugar high
absolutely.
over
Right.
the drug high any day.
Hallelujah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so
Hallelujah.
go AA.
Though I don't imagine he's listening. Remember when you all master planned the
I was
shock,
like, whoa, I don't know where
Definitely
you're
thought that was going in a
Thank
different
you
direction.
so much because
When you-
I have my pants on.
the master plan where you brought in Laura from NYPD
Yeah,
Pizza,
yeah, yeah.
and you brought in Joel, and I was breathless for a
Yeah.
while. Well,
Oh, yeah.
it is Joel's birthday today.
Happy birthday,
it.
He
Joel.
is,
Hallelujah,
I'm
Joel.
not sure where he
Hallelujah.
is, but I did find out the other night that he has a boyfriend. So anyway, you're dead to me.
In a related story,
In a related story,
Joel's dead.
No,
To me.
I did see. I've actually seen Joel several times the past couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden he introduced me to a boyfriend. I'm like, So my handshakes have been a little firm. Got it.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
got it.
let's. We mentioned earlier
Right
the,
or left hand muscle
go.
stronger.
Hallelujah.
no hole in the pocket. By the way,
No,
Yeah.
A multimillionaire who drives a red Ferrari accused police of Aspen, Colorado of sports car profiling after getting a speeding ticket for going 34 and a 25. According,
That's not speeding.
9 above is fine. Everybody just calm the fuck down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think.
51-year-old Mark
I
Ostrovsky.
say 40 above.
51-year-old Mark Ostrovsky, who I don't think is related to Elka off of Hot in Cleveland, claims.
I know that name.
Yeah,
Oh my
Ostrovsky-
God, that's funny.
And that's the
That's
first. And it's the
fantastic.
first time I've seen it
love
other
it.
than Hot in Cleveland.
Yep.
He claims that sports car owners are pulled over in the town of Aspen more often than owners of other cars. He adds that other Ferrari owners in the town agree with him. Apparently, he either belongs to a club or took a poll. And by taking a poll, I don't mean that bad. During a court hearing, he denied speeding.
With my organ.
With your organ, he denied speeding and told a judge that he would pay $10,000 to the officer who gave him the ticket to take a lie detector test. He was denied that request. Ostrovsky eventually pleaded no contest to the charge, but maintained after a court hearing that he always watches his speed. Quote, "I don't ever speed in that car. No way," he said. "You specifically don't speed when you have a car like mine. You're very, very aware in this town of speeding." The Aspen Police Department released a statement saying that that only 12% of drivers who are pulled over in their city are cited, suggesting that officers don't target anyone in Aspen, Colorado. But seriously, if you drive a fucking red Ferrari, they are gonna. They're gonna
literally asking to be pulled over.
You could be doing 80 in a minivan, and they'll never look at you.
No, if you could, and likewise, you could be doing 10 in a school zone, and they're whatever. You could be
Clocking
doing
you.
yes,
Right.
It doesn't matter.
But red cars are almost always profiled.
Red cars.
Oh yeah.
And what was it? What did he say?
What's a Ferrari?
Fucking Ferrari.
Yeah.
Okay, now
But I mean, that would have to be cruise control. Like no matter where you go, because I think you can only not, from my own experience, set cruise control if it's
Below 30
and under.
30 and above.
Oh, is it 30?
I believe it's 30 and
because
above.
I thought, okay.
I love cruise control.
I just know that, like, going through a school zone. I'm sorry, Al. Like, going through a school zone, I've tried because those sons of bitches
They
are
get you
serious.
You got to like basically stop.
Right.
Because of the killing of children.
Yeah, I mean it's important.
Fucking watch your children.
It's a give and take.
Just saying. Just
Yeah. You can speed up after the
Run
crosswalk.
faster,
I think
survival
the
of the
low
fittest.
limit is either 30 or 35. I'm never sure which.
And I'm not saying it's any car manufacturer can be different.
But
right.
to be able to set crew, because I will do that if you
but
especially know like
and I
a
have-
certain area.
I've learned with my truck that the way to go through any school zone period is I just
go around it.
No, it's second gear idle, and
Oh,
that gets
yeah.
me through.
Yeah, I coast.
I-
I just take as soon as
I
I
take
see
my
it
foot off
coming,
the brake.
brake.
Yep.
You take your foot off the brake?
I mean, excuse me. Yes. And
Hallelujah!
And I
I just aim for that fucker.
aim for the kiddos.
Foot off the brake.
Foot off the gas.
Kind of what I was doing on both flights. I don't know if anyone saw the picture.
up
But
the
I had
gas.
a baby
I-
next to me, and then everyone who had ever
read
given
that.
birth.
I read that. Yeah,
Oh, that, yeah.
Oh.
that's funny.
So
Anywho.
Yes. So yeah, be careful if you're in Aspen, Colorado, driving a red Ferrari, or even if you're driving like a red Neon. Just slow the fuck down.
And I have to tell you, and I'm trying to become more car literate in case I ever
Yes.
want to have conversation with gentlemen that do that stuff.
Sure.
I don't think I could pick a Ferrari out of a crowd. I don't know it. I don't think I know what one looks
I
like.
could only by the
I would
Now,
just know
logo.
it's
Can I
sporty.
go old school with you to help you pick this out? Remember, I think it was not Cannonball Run. It was one of the vacation movies where Christy Brinkley's driving the car
right.
next to Chevy
yeah,
Chase.
that's not where I would pay
That's
attention to
I
a
thought
car.
that was
Okay.
a DeLorean.
That red T-top was she was driving a Ferrari. Red
Was
Ferrari.
it?
DeLoreans
Okay.
were only silver because they were all stainless
That's
steel.
right. They were all silver.
Yeah.
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 But
So
again, the car is not the thing I pay attention to in the movie. But I thank you.
Well, and
You're
Christy
welcome.
Brinkley.
You are
don't see
welcome.
her paying a lot
I
of
referenced that
attention.
movie about 15 times this weekend, so sure.
and you're welcome
Actually,
that
we
I
did
was able to
too.
give you a movie reference.
I appreciate
I
it.
feel
Nice.
better.
That's
Hallelujah! I almost feel worthy of being on my own show.
Yeah. Not quite.
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself there, Clayton.
So close. Cunt tear away.
Wow.
I have to say, because I've been
Hallelujah.
laughing.
I love it.
Katie's delightful smile as she's sipping out of a straw from a cup that says cunt has just.
Red Ferrari.
Oh, well, yeah.
And they look fucking fast.
I just don't care about them. Kelly is
I
like
don't care
Have you
either.
ever
Kelly
seen, have you ever
has-
seen Pretty Woman? Was that a Porsche?
I think it was a Porsche.
God only knows.
I think
Kelly
it was a-
has like
It corners like it's
sports
on rails.
cars.
That's
I
right.
can give you the line, but I don't know what they're
I
driving.
was just gonna say cornered, but it's
When we
it
were in
is
Santa
Porsche.
Monica, we were walking and we saw like sports cars like crazy bananas
Oh, yeah,
coming out of
right.
everywhere. And Kelly has like sport car wet dreams, and I could give two shits. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Right.
A, you're never driving one. I mean, we can
Right.
never afford that.
Right.
You drive a Honda, for
Yeah,
God's sake.
exactly.
You do.
B, we're never gonna get one of those. And C, like even if you could like afford a version of that,
Where would the car seat
Not
go
okay.
for Palmer?
Thank you. She used to have a Spider, got in a bad accident, Scary McGarry.
Oh,
No, sports cars.
Are you
off
talking
limits.
like a spider like James Dean?
It was like
More
whatever
modern
the little
version.
sports car-y Spider
Is it
was.
a Mitsubishi
Mitsubishi,
Spider?
I want to say. Yeah.
See, I'm trying.
Kelly's like super
I'm
hot.
actually
Look at you,
really
Al.
fucking impressed.
Hallelujah, Al.
Hallelujah.
I only knew about the one. No.
I'm trying.
So did y'all hear about that chick quite a few years ago that had the hiccups for like a month?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? Like she couldn't stop hiccuping, and she was on every show, and she got all kinds of attention, and you'd think that would have been enough.
No.
Nope, because now she's gonna serve life in prison for first-degree murder.
What?
Right?
Ooh, did she push her husband off the cliff after 8 days of marriage?
No. That was a different story that I almost picked up the people just for that.
Yeah,
but,
I know. I wanted to know too.
Me too, big time. I'm
When
gonna have to read
honeymoons
that.
go wrong.
Right. Next on Inside Edition. This was oddly Clearwater, Florida.
Oh,
That is actually
strangely.
not odd. Yeah.
And it's not clear water.
And actually,
No.
my aunt and uncle live in Clearwater, as a matter of fact.
Do they?
That's a true story. Yeah. It's actually a beautiful little town.
Is it lovely?
It's near Tampa.
Not here. So she became famous for this whole uncontrollable hiccup thing because that's what we all want to be known for. And
Choose your battles.
Right. Pick wisely. She did not later on in life. She apparently did like a Craigslist ad thing and lured this guy in. And then she and two other guys killed him and stole his stuff. Like, here, meet me here. And lured him around the back of this real dark house. And then they beat the shit out of him, killed him, and stole his stuff. She's only 22. She's only 22,
Busy
going
girl.
to spend the rest of her life in prison without the
As she
possibility
well
of parole.
should.
Albeit that she's not the one who did any of the beating or killing.
Oh,
but
wait,
she's
so
the one that lured.
Yeah, well, so fuck her. So yeah,
Hey,
let's lock that
hallelujah.
bitch up.
You and I are on the same page.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
You know
am
what I'm
too,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, because to me, had you not done that, the two guys couldn't have beaten the shit out of the guy and killed him.
So what happened to the two guys?
They are, one is still standing trial and the other received life in
Mustard.
prison.
Without the possibility of parole.
The without possibility of parole was what I was actually just looking for. He
But
received.
Florida likes to execute during halftime too. Isn't that one of the entertainment
They do.
states?
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
Don't they execute for fun down in Florida too?
Like Texas?
Yeah.
Similar, I believe.
Dallas halftime show execution scheduled.
Right.
But-
So it was a 22-year-old Walmart worker that they had lured, that she lured.
Oh, wasn't his life
And it
bad
was
enough?
under the pretense of buying marijuana. And so I think that was another
To
part of
cure,
it.
to cure hiccups?
Nope.
Oh.
The hiccups had been cured. Maybe
Oh.
by marijuana.
All right, ma'am. Didn't know. I got
that
in late
part
to
we
the
did
story.
not. We did
Sorry.
not know. We'd not been given that information. Anyway, he was shot 4 times.
Oh, that's so awful.
And yeah, and then they stole stuff. But I thought, really? You know, she said, I didn't pull the trigger. I did
I did everything right up to it.
Right. I did everything.
It's so
because
disgusting. Like, what's wrong with you? You're 22.
She
what
says, because
happened
I-
in your life at age
She had hiccups.
22?
God.
No, I'm serious. That's not what she said, really. Like,
no. It says, because I set everything up, this gal explained to a call that she sent to her mom, or that she made to her mom. It all went wrong, Mom. It just went downhill. Do you think?
No shit.
Do you think?
Yeah, someone died.
Real dead. Still dead.
Yeah.
And
And
in
also
the
super dead.
commission of
Even if not dead, just
faux
beaten and robbed.
drug crime. Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's an
Right.
assault charge. That's not nothing to be proud of
Either
there.
way, you're a shitty fucking human.
Yeah, exactly. At 20, you're right though,
Hallelujah.
Katie June. I'm with you. You're right. At 22, when you look at me, seriously,
Like, what
You had hiccups
happened
for
in your
30
life? Because
fucking days.
when I was 22, I was super.
Another
you
one,
were in
another one of these
Nantucket.
stories, right?
Stop it! I
Weren't
was.
you?
I was. Yeah, but I was like really. I was partying and having fun and great and love and super duper, and I was definitely not aiming to kill people. So
Not aiming to.
what happens in your
I was
life?
smoking
Well,
enough
maybe
pot
she
to be
didn't
peeing
think.
out
Right.
stems and seeds.
Thank
Let's
you.
just say it.
What happens in your life when you're this girl at 22 that you're like, yeah, sure, I'll lure someone to my house to kill them. That sounds really fun.
My favorite part, because there was that stupid shit with back in the day, and this is totally whoop as far as change of topic, but back in the day with Harvey Milk and how now I can't think of it. Dan
White.
Thank you. I was gonna say Dan
Also
Brown.
a fucker.
Different color.
Different.
Dan White, the Twinkie defense and the junk food, right, and all of that made him do it. Well,
Right.
on this, her attorney said she had an attorney.
Oh,
Her attorney
at
said
press
his
time.
at
Sure.
press time
Sure.
that his client was on medication to control hiccuping. And even then, she occasionally had bouts. Quite frankly, she hiccuped briefly during one day of her murder trial.
Well, so did I.
So, you know,
You were on a
really-
murder trial?
No, but I hiccuped one day while she was on trial for murder.
But is that the hiccup defense?
Is there something we don't know?
And the hiccup medication defense.
Whatever.
Like, what are you on?
Right. Bullshit.
Yeah.
You're on the fear factor. Boo. What?
Wow.
What a dumbass.
Hold the
Anyway.
breath while you have one leg in the air.
So next time you're calling about getting the marijuana,
Be careful.
just call Laura. That's all.
Just for reals.
Don't get lured.
Don't call Laura. Do not get lured.
Get lured, not lured.
That's right.
Totally different.
That's what
Avoid-
that's what keeps me up the hooch though.
avoid
Is I
the
don't want to
hiccups.
deal with the people. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
Sure.
I want to meet new
freaky,
people. Yeah.
The freaky ones.
Side note, we're enjoying these incredibly delicious pretzel crisps right
Yes,
now.
they are good.
They also come in a honey mustard flavor, and you could just eat the whole bag in one sitting.
Oh.
So think about that next time you go to the grocery
Now,
store.
I do have... I have mustard in the fridge if you need it.
No.
Okay.
Don't need it, but they
All
are
right.
just coated perfectly.
They are good. I am a med.
Peanut butter filled
Next
pretzels
time.
are like the greatest food of all time.
You can't find those bitches. It's hard because Kelly goes bananas over
Fries.
obviously Ferraris and
fries
those
in your
things.
backyard. There's a whole
I
section
hate
of them.
that fries. Oh, I had a story about that fries today.
We'll get to that in your section.
Later. Put that in sports.
You know, we're all very techie here in the old Studio C. I mean, we have iPads, iPhones.
Oh, yeah.
We have a laptop if you have a charger that works, Katie. And I have this antiquated HP Pavilion that seems to still work for whatever I need it to do. Well, on Sunday, less than 2 little days after the iPhone 5 went on sale, a German hacker collective became the first to claim victory over the gadget's much buzzed about Touch ID finger security system. Basically, they've already broken into it. They did it pretty much the same way that Bane's flunkies breached the biometric passcode on Bruce Wayne's stock exchange account in the movie The Dark Knight Rises, using a copy of Batman's fingerprints. Apparently, Catwoman had done some light dusting around the Wayne Manor.
Catman would have been a whole other movie.
Actually, I think it is, but it's produced by Falcon.
Hallelujah when it comes out.
Produced by Falcon. Catwoman lifted a
Matt
fingerprint.
Damon will play that part.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. Top or bottom.
Yeah.
Top or bottom. He said top, by the way. Anyway, Catwoman apparently lifted a fingerprint off of something in Wayne Manor during the Batman movie, and they were able to use that to recreate a fingerprint and break into something of Batman's. I think I saw the movie, but don't remember that. Well, even before the Chaos Computer Club, one of the largest and well-known hacker collectives, crowned victory via a tried and true fake finger method, Apple's first foray into the biometric security wasn't given any respect at all by the media or other people amid concerns over privacy. Actually, Senator Al Franken, who is a Democrat from Minnesota, asked if Apple might share stored fingerprints with third parties or the government the way tech companies do with other customer information, and hacking the jokes really just kicked in and went all over the place. Actually, in jokingly, but still it actually worked. A cat's paw, a man's nipple, and a crowdsourced bounty to the first to hack the Touch ID are likely just the beginning of running gags at Apple's expense. So they literally have gone back and said, so many people who have figured out you can hack it in multiple ways, use multiple body parts, so on and so on. Just keep the security, your 4-digit, 5-digit, whatever it is, security code on your item, and don't use a fingerprint. Don't use... Go ahead, Al.
When they did this story on CNN on Good Morning, because I was up that fucking early this week,
right?
And I love Chris Cuomo.
Yeah,
hallelujah for that man in the morning.
Yeah, I do like him as well.
He could fuck me 6 ways from Tuesday.
Wow.
Okay, now that's different than how I feel, but yes,
different than how I feel.
But they were asking questions about like the replicating the fingerprint.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, it can't be from a severed finger because there's a temperature problem. And like Michaela K or whatever her name is that sits there at the end, and
Michaela K,
the drag queen.
Definitely not her, but get close. Miss Close.
Whatever their names are, I don't know them. Colin Firth. I'm not sure.
Michaela K is a former Miss Gay Arizona America.
I know, but it's close to that.
All right.
Just imagine
Similar,
her
but
darker
different.
and a little heavier in the hips.
She looks like Trixie Deluxe.
She's lovely. Ophelia Buns.
I agree.
Whatever her
completely,
name is at
this
the end of the
whole
counter.
exchange is asinine.
She really does look like Ophelia Buns.
Michaela Vieira, whatever it is. Right.
So she's like, why would you worry about a severed finger? And we're all like, well, we've all seen that movie where they, cut out someone's eye or chop their finger to pass security. They're like, oh no, there's they built in the temperature thing.
But you can get past it with all kinds
Everything
of other
else, right? That's what I'm saying. So everything
use your
aside from
nipple.
severing, like they figured out how to do this without ever severing a finger.
Right.
Everyone involved in the... And
Tom Cruise was a part of it.
And now if you watch Newsroom, which will come up in a little bit later, but the one thing that they talk about is they have a red team on news shows. And
team?
It's called a red team.
All right.
And I thought it was from some ancient, I thought it was some Shakespearean term. It's not. It's something from something stupid. I Googled it the other day.
Something hot?
No, not even that. But the red team is in computer companies use it. So they take their computer program that they just invented and they put it out to all the hackers, and the hackers are the red team. They have to hack it.
Right. If they can.
Yeah, if they can. Figure out
Looking
how to
for
hack
holes.
this thing.
Sure.
And you do that in news stories. So you take someone that doesn't know the news story, and you're like, all right, I have this completely preposterous news story with sources. Find the holes. Like, you guys do it so that the story doesn't turn out to be not true later down the road.
Like everything else we report on.
Right. So you send whatever you're going to do to a red team that's blind to the topic and tell them, figure this out.
Got it. Okay.
And I think maybe it's from War or something like that, but it's something really simple. But it was just funny that Apple doesn't fucking use a red team. Like, it was one day.
2 days.
How fast did you rush
Even
this
stuff.
motherfucker out that that your hackers didn't figure
Now
this out?
well,
yeah, but don't they
are the
release a
Chinese
phone
children
like
making these phones not good hackers?
Well,
I mean, do they need a skill set?
They're at that zoo looking at those animals.
But you would
The dogs.
in China.
These are delicious.
But the people in Apple, and I think this has been one of their downfalls over many years, is they're on an island and they feel like they are supreme being, and they produce their items. Though they're lovely, their items are lovely. However, it seems as though they produce a lot of them in a perfect environment Whereas as long as everybody's playing the game correctly, it all works fine.
Right.
But they don't look like, I think Microsoft, though a lot of people are opposed to that, I think Microsoft does a lot better. You know, they're open source programming. Everybody and their brother can attack them from any angle, and then they all work for the betterment of the software. Because Apple has never, in all the years I've ever done software updates with Apple products, which is exactly why I went to Mom's and did her Apple updates myself, because, and I hesitated on doing even mine, I wait, because there's always a fuck up, there's always a problem, there's always something, and it bites you in the ass, so I try to reserve myself and do it after everybody else has. So, to that point, every time there's a problem, Apple never acknowledges it, ever.
Right.
So mysteriously,
There's just a mysterious update. 2
right?
days
Exactly,
later.
exactly. So
and there will be now with what you're talking about, but also there's a battery problem.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
I just read that today that there's a big time battery drainage problem
with the new 5s.
With the new,
I haven't noticed it with mine.
It's the operating 7. It's the iOS 7.
I haven't noticed it with mine yet.
I'm with you because I don't upgrade. Like I don't upgrade right away. I don't get the new phone right away. I don't get the new software right away.
I have now. Have you?
I have not.
Okay, I have.
Yeah, my friend Danielle just boom.
And I read the article that it's just like bananas.
Yeah.
Like turn on your phone, it's dead. It's amazing. Miracle.
Yeah. Okay, I hadn't heard that.
And I don't know if that's
It's good on
every
the
phone.
iPad.
I know that
It is good on the iPad.
I know that that's for Danielle's phone. I don't know about
Although,
Jason's. I mean,
My iPhone is so filled up with music that it won't allow me.
Yeah.
But
Although-
I will
There's no
teach.
memory
I will
left.
teach you the way around that
It
after
is?
the show.
I don't want it though because I've heard nothing but bad things.
Oh,
so
okay.
and they even said on CNN, and this is so funny that CNN tries to be like that morning show. I think they're just strung out on coffee that they forget that they're supposed to be news.
Which is funny. We are too.
So Chris,
They're trying to be
Cuomo,
like the Today Show.
who I was
fluffy.
imagining he was fucking me from behind while he was saying this.
Jeez, hallelujah.
I'm a little
Hey,
tired.
hallelujah.
Drinking word.
Hallelujah.
There you go.
He said he's like, with Apple, you just wait 8-10 days and let everybody else get all the
Right,
bad
suffer
ideas.
through it.
Yeah,
Right.
so just wait till they work out the bugs. And I'm like,
And then
Apple
download the
should just
Apple-
say that we have this great product, but don't buy it till next week.
Right.
Well,
Let
and then
the
get
early adopters have all that problem.
iOS 7.1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Or whatever they call it. But you know why
Right,
they
7.1.
are on an island and they can feel like they're on an island? Because they are. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
There were over 9
million
million new iPhone
5, whatever, 5C.
whatever iteration of the iPhone
Right,
it is
right.
sold in 2 days.
Right.
Yeah.
9
but see,
fucking
that's
million.
What I don't understand.
But
because
People waiting
wasn't
in
it
line
6
for 24
months ago?
hours.
But their stock went down.
No,
They're-
but wasn't
they're-
it like 6 months ago, 8 months ago that they did the 5 and then the 4S before
Oh, the
that?
5 has been out longer than that.
But it seems like
But they
it's-
got their ass kicked by the Galaxy, by the Samsung
Right.
Galaxy.
So they had to do.
And the Google phone. I mean, that everybody at work, that's become the new phone, is that Galaxy. And
I don't know if you're an iPhone person.
it is the size
I'm
of a
spitting.
fucking planet.
Yeah, they are
They're
big.
too big. And I
It's-
feel like if
it's
you're
half the size of an
I feel
iPad.
like if you're an
Oh.
Apple person, you're an Apple person. I think that the Samsung phone looks sexy as all get out, but I'm an Apple person. I'm not going to
but
change now.
So what's the difference between with that commercial, the iPad, and then this other tablet-y thing?
Yeah, it
There's
looks
the
really
iPad
cool,
mini.
but I don't care. I love
they
it.
No, not the iPad Mini.
No,
where
it's the
something else where like, oh, you have a keyboard.
the-
It's Siri talking.
Oh,
like,
it's
Oh,
the-
she's talking to
right.
remember
And
it
it's
had
like
the fun,
less money?
Remember it had the fun dance commercial a couple months ago where you attach to your tablet.
oh, yeah.
They attach
Oh,
the
that's the
keyboard.
same thing?
It's the same thing. But now they're saying like all the things that it does that the iPad
Sure.
can't.
Right,
Like
like-
at this conference that I was at, I wasn't going to bring a notepad, and there was a lot of lectures. So I was like, all right, I'll take notes, and I have my tabs on here, and I
Yeah.
bought the Pages for Apple, so I can take notes and be careful and have everything prepared for when I came back. And then they were like, well, here's a USB plug, a thumb drive
with all the notes.
Yep.
with the whole fucking weekend on
Oh,
it.
wow.
So here's the people with laptops plugging it in, and I'm like,
You can't do it.
I can't do
Yeah.
it. I could be looking
Okay.
at this lecture.
Yeah, Apple needs the USB
But
port.
I'm sure
Yeah, but
that
there's
did,
the thing
did
you
they
can
not have
buy.
a-
I should have given you the. I have the thing where you can put it here, and then you can use the USB port.
But the funny thing about
like I
it,
bought an extra thing.
but the funny thing about it though is like then I saw that commercial because it was
Yeah.
on all weekend, and I'm in a hotel room, so I don't have my DVR, and I have to watch commercials, and I'm like, oh, she's fucking right.
Yeah.
She gets her ass kicked, and you can't.
And for cheaper.
Like if I want to listen to something on YouTube, like if I want to play a video on YouTube and just listen to the songs, I don't care about the video, and then go to another page, it stops. Or if I want to like listen to David Pakman show, because I don't need to watch, he just sits there and
Right,
talks.
just listen to it.
And go to another web page and like check my email.
Really?
I can't do it. You can't go page
on the
to page.
iPad, because that's like the big thing about the iPhone with AT&T anyway, is that you can listen to I can turn on YouTube and listen, and go to something else.
Yeah, can't do that on the iPad. It's a downside to it.
Yeah, one of the things that I have enjoyed, I think they've figured out the Siri thing a little bit better because now Siri is
She's a whore.
well, no, not just that. Siri is
A useful whore.
Siri
Yeah,
is able
not
to be
really.
done in a male voice, and I think she understands things a lot better than she used to.
All good. I will call you when I'm in and settled.
Oh, that's a female voice. Oh, because it's under you. I have the male voice selected on my phone.
Sure.
I like it better, but I think the voice recognition software is
So you're
is
saying
better.
the male voice is smarter than the female?
No, I'm saying that I think overall their voice recognition is better.
Oh, and
But
my
yes,
because
the
my
male
friend
voice.
has,
The male voice. The
she
male.
was sending
The guy
Hallelujah.
understands. If I ask directions, he's like,
Hallelujah.
if I ask directions, the male voice says, just look it up.
You'll be fine. Just keep going. To the
Google
right.
that shit. I'm not your bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know. That commercial has gotten me a little bit hooked, but I'm the
Yeah.
one that buys. I bought the iPad, the original iPad, then I bought the mini, and I still don't use it because I'm an iPhone. I'm more of an iPhone user. I love my laptop, and I got the lightweight one that I can
Right.
carry anywhere, and I have my phone. I don't use it.
This would be if I didn't have. This is to replace a laptop.
Right.
My
I know, I
laptop
love my
died.
laptop.
He was loaning me a laptop, and it was so heavy to carry.
Oh, that thing, but that
This
thing was
like-
ancient.
And this is all this is. This is me having a laptop.
And I bought the MacBook Air specifically because I was using it as my sole computer for work and home, traveling with it, and it weighs nothing.
Yeah, because I would rather beat
I'm
you with this
obsessed.
than read something off the screen. This screen is too small.
I've gotten so used to it.
So to that point, what I've done is
Seriously beat you with
made mom's text larger
Hallelujah.
larger on the iPhone. But mom said the other day, she goes, I'm more connected than I've ever thought I'd ever been in my life. So she says, all I do for my PC is I just go in occasionally and pay bills on it. I'm like, you can do it on this.
You
She
can
goes,
do it on
no,
the
I'm
phone."
good.
Yeah.
So she does it on her, but she does everything now on the pad. She does it on her phone. She's all connected.
Can I ask you,
That's
though,
good.
just another question along those lines? Is she's saying she's the most connected she's ever been?
Ever. And never wanted to be.
Right.
Ever.
And there were some interesting stories over the past few days because, as you may or may not know, BlackBerry, a Canadian big technical
can't be
outlet.
president.
No, Ted Cruz, yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Cannot be?
likes BlackBerry.
Cannot be president.
So BlackBerry has just been sold for because they're like, this is what I don't understand. They're losing stock and losing shares hand over fist. So they're sold for 4 point some God only knows billion
Right.
to some investor, which I wonder what the investor will do with it. Doesn't matter.
I will tell you in a minute. Finish your
Perfect.
rant.
But they were talking about how
I will.
BlackBerry really took the workplace to the home, and it did, and it was
it
like the
did.
first one that you got that, and there are still people who are using BlackBerry. I was listening on the
And took the
Today Show
internet out of the home.
on the Orange Room, and they were saying the people that still use BlackBerry say I use it for my push to work emails. Like it comes in quick. There's no distraction. There's no Facebook. There's no music. There's no, there's not a whole lot of things other than here's my email. So it's a very business oriented product. But there was this whole segment on NPR or whatever, KTR or whatever today about the idea of turning off and that nobody does it anymore and that children
You just can't.
and children are almost like it's the most kind of sad, however you look at it, for children because they're coming up seeing their parents using these things. And I think about Palmer then, and kids are younger and younger getting iPhone, and they're expected at all times. Like they said, when you first got the BlackBerry, it was like, oh, cool. I'm at my son's soccer game and I can answer an email real quick. Awesome. And now you're expected to
hell yeah.
answer that email.
Right.
Doesn't matter what time of the day, doesn't matter what day of the
Yeah.
week,
Yep.
doesn't matter what you're doing. And I see that happen with Kelly regardless based on, I don't know. So it's bigger than just the technology. I'm talking about just that kind of 24/7, 365, like consistently on.
And
it's
people wanting you to be accountable because of that.
and they talked about the children who don't see or know any
All about
differently.
the children. It's always
No,
about
but
the children.
but you don't know
And
they don't-
puppies.
And I thought,
And they're on their phones all the time. They're connected. They're 24/7 connected, and they don't understand what life is without being
we're a society
always
that
connected.
just looks
and
down.
they have no desire to be like you couldn't strand them for a peaceful weekend. And I thought it was The Last Resistor like 10 years ago. My friend who has an IT job, Justin, in Boston, we were on a beach and he had his BlackBerry and I'm like on the beach and he's like I have to work.
Yeah.
He's like I'm not really off till tomorrow.
I'm the same as Justin.
And he said this, and this was years ago when I didn't even understand the technology existed that you could be on the beach on the internet, and he's like, I'm not technically off till tomorrow, so today's a work day.
The fact that I can be on the beach
I'm
is
just playing
lovely.
hooky at the beach,
Yeah,
right?
I can be at the, and that was the lucky thing. But I thought
That's
how
how
sad.
my life is.
And then I went to Mexico a few years later, and I
Mine too.
took my phone, turned off my phone, and put it in the safe hotel room, and didn't see it for a week. And everybody I was with was like,
What the hell?
how can you do that? Because I had a flip phone, and until I got this, I could go somewhere and like turn off the phone and like I don't care.
Well-
but now with the security issues, like I always have to have this is my security system. It's hooked to ADT.
Yeah.
I check my security system constantly. People
Well, your
text
personal
me.
security, your home, your
No, I mean this
whatever-
literally is
right.
my ADT
Yeah.
device.
No, I
This
know.
is how I get to ADT.
Well, and it's
so
like-
now I won't put it down because I won't even go to the bathroom at work without my phone in my pocket in case ADT
just in
calls
case.
me.
Well,
Yeah.
and the
Well, I think even bigger than that. Knowing how,
But now I'm comfortable with the Facebook on it, so
Right,
I'll go
but
on. I'm on it constantly.
but knowing how your life is, because you are more than I think about anybody that I know. You are one of the most spur of the moment people. If you have 47 minutes that you're off from the restaurant and you can go somewhere, you go at the drop of a hat. That helps you plan that shit instantly.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you drop literally. You'll call me. Oh, I'm leaving. I'll be gone for 2 days, or I'll be here. Or I'll be there. Or you do that, which I don't do. My world is not word like. But because of the instantaneous way you can respond to everything on that, I think that's just the way you are.
And like I said, and I've bought in even though I resisted it, I'm hook, line, and sinker in
Yeah.
on this.
Well,
and now I'm like, lost. Like we're doing that Philadelphia tour. They would say something, and I didn't want to keep interrupting the tour
So you
guide.
look it up.
So you
Because
Google
I'm
it.
such a history geek that I was like, oh no, you can't get past that. I just Googled, and I was Googling, and then I had my friend Googling.
I do it for directions to everywhere. I do it for restaurants. I do it for shopping. I do it for this. I do it for questions about Palmer got a fever. What do I do? I mean, it's everything. But I will say,
Starve a cold, feed a fever.
the other thing, yeah, right.
don't
The other
know.
thing is
Still
that
works.
we were on. And I don't know if I've shared this before. Doesn't matter. I'm going to share it again. But we were on
Hallelujah.
a vacation in Napa, and this is pre-Palmer, and this is years ago, and it was before I was like glued to a phone, and Kelly, we went on this beautiful vacation, and we're in Napa, we're wine country, we have a Jeep, and we're driving down the road, and Kelly is glued to her cell phone, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was taking it with a grain of salt until I couldn't anymore, and I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, we're literally about to walk into a winery and have like a beautiful lunch and a wine tasting, and really?" And she goes, "How do you think I pay for this nice vacation?"
Right.
And I went, "Oh my God, snap. A, I shut my mouth, but B, it made me really
Could you take that call?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, she's like, I'm glad that you're here, but
Kelly's
then-
phone. How can I help you?
But here's the sad thing is that like we were on this beautiful vacation, and she works her fucking ass off all year to pay for it. She should be able to take 4 days out of a week to go take a nice vacation, but it's like you can't even. And but even if you can, your mind or. We were having dinner. She turns her phone off during dinner, and tonight during dinner, she got 7 to 8 calls, and her client, her work knows like we eat dinner as a family every night.
Yeah.
Like 7 to 8 calls. One of her clients called her 4 times in a row. Phone rings, don't answer. Phone rings, don't answer. Phone rings, don't answer until she's like, please, I'm having dinner. And about 10 minutes later, client calls back. Like it's crazy. There's no boundaries for anybody or anything.
I think that's an
agree.
important time to set boundaries. Like regardless
Yeah,
of
but
what your
it's
job
hard
is.
to do that.
No, but
It
you have to.
really
But no,
is.
but you have to say to people, "I get a life for 1 hour for dinner with your
Dinner.
family."
1 hour. We have a
ridiculous.
2-year-old. We're talking about 20 minutes max.
You work out your shit for the world's not burning down.
No, but my deal is that during that time I would just put it on silent.
Well,
I would too, but it has to be for it to be like a family dinner where everybody's like out.
Right.
That phone is not even in the same,
And it shouldn't be. And it
room
should be on
with you.
silent.
But-
I would
And
agree.
you-
Like,
and
put
it
it on
should be.
silent.
And then
Okay.
you tell
Right.
clients, you
No.
tell who you're working
I'm
with.
not judging
And
Kelly.
I-
I'm
No,
just saying,
but you're right.
And
Yeah.
I understand that in some aspects now.
To a degree.
To
You
a
can.
degree, I'm going to play devil's advocate with this because, I mean,
You do an on-call job, but it should fall to Matt. Like you,
But
like,
so do you.
Oh,
but
that-
there's also
Oh
almost.
no! When I'm on call for,
No,
I
but
know by
no.
12 hours.
Right, no, but his is different because there's several other staff members who will come in and cover him. For the company that I work for, there are 3 of us total.
Yeah.
So
And sometimes
one
they're
is-
out of
one
if
is
state.
more
Matt's out of town or in the
sales.
air, I live in Central Phoenix, so it all default.
You're kinda it.
I'm kind of it.
You're the guy.
And then,
But now that would be fine when he's out of town and somebody's taking a vacation. Then you take their calls. But I'm sorry if everybody's in town You get an allotted time.
Yeah.
I want an hour that
But
there'll be nothing.
And in interjecting there, I go along with he and I are really on the same page with this a lot. But the Kelly thing, I really get that too. Because people will be annoyed. A year ago when we went back to Minnesota and we're on the Paddleford, when we did the boat up and down the river, we're sitting there and I'm like, excuse me, hold on up.
Right.
And I had to go take something. And if it's taking, not necessarily taking a phone call, because I try to get bitches trained for texting, but it's the idea that I'm taking a moment away from someone. And if you can't get used to that, I need you to settle the fuck down.
And I do too.
And Katie, I don't mean that at you. I mean, I'm saying in general.
No, but I mean, you need an hour of your day where but
it doesn't happen.
I've gotten used to it big time. And Kelly.
But I would say to set that boundary, to let people know that there's boundaries.
I think that the hardest part is that Kelly's worked from home for 10 plus years. So there's no differentiation. There's no work. There's no home.
Right.
It's all the same.
Yep.
And she's a saleswoman. She works on commission.
Yeah.
And so her thought is, if I don't get a sale, I turn off my phone for the weekend
Palmer
to go.
doesn't get
And I'm
fed.
not saying a whole week. I'm not saying a whole weekend. I'm saying
but regardless,
dinner hour.
Dinner, yes. But I can sometimes understand where she's like, I've got deals hanging. Like when we went to California, she was actually really good about it. And she tried really hard and was diligent to put the phone away, turn it off, put it away. She didn't even have it for photos because she's like, I don't want it to be on. Yep. But when you're living that 24/7 work cycle and you're getting paid on your commission base, especially, you're like, shit, if I miss this phone call, I miss a deal and I lose
But I'm
money.
just saying you just set up that boundary with where you work and you just pick a time for the day.
It's really hard.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying if it's 4 to 5, it's a 5 to 6.
And Cal's national, so she starts with the East Coast and ends with the West Coast.
So the later it gets, the easier it gets because those people have gone to bed.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to buy anything at 10 o'clock at night.
Right. Yeah.
The what the challenge that I run into with this is, and I try to balance it like this. I don't get calls at very many calls. I don't get calls at 8, 9, 10 in the morning. Right. They're all afternoon because mostly bars and restaurants load up and
you're a night owl.
And I'm a night person anyway. But I balance out the fact that I could go 3 and 4. I can go a week and not get a phone call, though I'm 24/7. I can go a week with no phone calls.
Right.
But randomly 6:45 on some night, boom, I get inundated with something happens or whatever,
and you're like, holy shit.
I try to balance it with the fact that I can go days without having to respond to anybody.
Yeah,
that's nice.
But I literally, and it's Murphy's,
then you get flooded.
It's Murphy's Law. I go to sit down to dinner and I'm with somebody or friends, or God forbid I'd ever have a date in my life. I sit down and literally Murphy's Law, boom, my phone lights up and it's like, I have
emergency.
I have no choice.
Sure.
I really don't have a choice.
Well, when we were,
especially when you're looking at an entire restaurant's down and revenue is at 0 at this point.
But I have to have my dinner.
Right. So you got a full restaurant on a Friday.
No. You're taking the wrong point. I have to have my life.
No. And again,
yeah, but it is hard when you're.
No, it is hard. But you just work it out with coworkers or whatever. You just say
no, and we do try to balance that.
Right.
But more often than not,
as someone could say from 4 to 5. On this day, and it doesn't have to be every single day at the same time.
Right. Well,
I get Tuesdays from 6 to midnight, basically.
Yeah. And the other thing about Kelly that
and that's a long stretch.
But I do text during the show, and I've seen you do it too, Marnie.
I have to.
The other thing that I neglected to say about Kelly is
I check my phone right now.
Although she works from home and has for a long time and is wildly successful at the home working, which I can't do for anything, but she. At the same time,
you don't have a job, Katie.
Well, but a lot of people say I can't work from home, and I can't let it go because I work from home,
and that's hard. But Kelly, at the same time, she's comfortable in the especially, and God bless, when her mom was going through all of her chemo, she was able to take as much time as she wanted because she can go do that with her mom and be on the phone.
Yes.
She also, what she does do, because sometimes she stays up marketing all night long, and then she'll go, a couple days later, she's like, I want to go see a movie at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And she can go at 11 a.m. Or I say, hey, want to run to Costco, which we know is an hour trip. So there's give and take. It's not all bad.
This last weekend, weekend, as far as boundaries and as far as this, it becomes something, though, that when I worked from 7:30 to 4:30, and I knew that those were my hours, and that was it. And if they wanted to call me because of some kind of a shift working at a different place, that they would. I could say yay or nay, or maybe get the call or maybe not. That was completely different than here's our expectation.
You just keep that now. Ask for it back.
when my boss went to hire me, she said, so here's the deal. You can come to work for us, and you might work 20 hours in 1 week. You might work 80 hours the next week. It just depends on what the need is. And people, for instance, with developmental disabilities...
I don't think you've ever seen 20 hours in any week ever.
Never.
Thank you very much.
But it could happen, apparently, in the sales pitch. But
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
But the whole idea is that people with developmental disabilities don't take, they don't stop being developmentally disabled at about like 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
No, I get
know I'm not saying
Yeah.
that at you. I'm just saying in general. Go ahead, please.
Not related to this topic. And in fact, we should wrap this up because we have to go into movies. That's clearly a hot topic. We may have to spend an entire night about things like this. I have not vetted this story, and I use say vetted because I've seen Newsroom before. And I've worked in one. According to people posting from Sedona just passed civil unions.
Yeah, it was up for a vote today.
Up for a vote.
Hallelujah.
Not in 2014, not in 16, but effective immediately.
Wow.
Just in time for their Sedona Pride this coming weekend.
Hey, I should go up this weekend.
Well, you could officiate
Well,
some
I'm
weddings.
a Rev Rye.
Rev Rye, you could do that.
That
Absolutely.
makes them the fourth city in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know that.
Well,
We'll have-
Bisbee,
Katie could Google that. We'll get right on that.
Tucson,
And
Yes.
Jerome.
Could be.
Oh,
So
right.
this
I
is
didn't
fourth.
know Jerome. I had forgotten about Jerome.
And Jerome and Sedona are all up in that
All
same
right
Pride
there.
little world.
Yeah.
And
It's-
Jerome is the shit.
I could make some money. Jeff Eversole he'll be my agent.
He will.
Yeah.
8:45. We are going to actually ditch the Salvation Army story. We'll come back to that a little bit later because we have entertainment stuff to go through. And by the way, we're going to do that with the one and only Mr. Al Perkins.
All right. Busy week. So the Emmys were on tonight. Tonight they were on Sunday. Lots
night.
of controversy. The Dexter season finale was amazeballs.
The fact that you use that word creeps me out.
Number one movie of the week was Prisoners, Brooklyn 99, and Mom are my two picks for the best new shows so far this season, and nothing's really started, so that was easy.
And that's entertainment. Okay, Al, take it away.
So the Emmy Awards were on, and there was a great brouhaha over
Hallelujah.
the tributes to the dead.
Yes, I heard about
The
this.
Still Dead.
The Still Dead, not the Undead, which is a different show.
Not the almost dead. Valerie Harper.
Still Dead. There was great controversy because they said that the personal tributes, I think there were 5 of them.
Yes, there were
very mood shifting for the show and brought the show down.
Downers.
And many in the audience found them very sad because they were talking about, in several cases, some of their friends, and that it really affected the audience. That the audience was upset by them and kind of went and took personal moments. And I guess there weren't enough seat fillers, so sometimes you saw some empty seats as people went out and had emotional breakdowns.
Which I don't think is a big deal because there's an empty seat. Who fucking cares?
They make a big deal.
I know
out of it.
they do. I know they do.
I don't get it either, but I guess it just kept killing. It kept killing the mood of the live audience, and that Neil Patrick Harris suffered the most from it because I guess
he's trying to pull them back up.
He was trying to pull them back up, and he was not
And
as
how
well
do you
received
be
as
funny,
he.
right after that.
He was not as well received for his thing afterwards, and then there was a great brouhaha and the 5 people they picked and whether they were long enough. And some fool on Buddy Early's page got all up in my business because I was like, well, Corey Monteith was actually on an Emmy-nominated show,
which I saw.
And we're
read
always
that.
trying to get younger viewers, so why would you ignore a current
'cause
younger
somebody was
star?
upset at Corey
Somebody was
Monteith.
upset that there wasn't a longer Larry Hagman thing.
And or Jack Klugman. Because Jack Klugman's son threw a fit.
And
Yeah.
so I was like, well, dead is still dead. And so what we came up with was to have a roll and crawl along the bottom of the dead are, let it run.
Well, and I
Still
heard
dead as of today.
Well, unless they
that
died of
people
colon
were-
issues.
And I certainly feel that, like, okay, I realize the Corey Monteith. The one in,
Who were the 5?
Gandolfini was one of
Okay,
them.
James Gandolfini.
Gene Stapleton, Corey Monteith,
yeah.
Jonathan Winters.
And David Gary Goldberg, I've got all the names right.
can't
He's
forget
the
that one.
creator of Family Ties.
and
Michael J. Fox came out and did that
Yeah.
one. Right.
Okay.
Now, I will give it, I don't know who he was, and that's fine. But I totally, Jonathan,
but that's a big
Jonathan
deal.
Winters, legendary.
And that's what I
Totally.
would. That's what I would have
Gene's-
jettisoned. But it's all personal. And what you're going to get to is it's all personal. Like,
No, it is.
Yeah.
But from
Jonathan Winters is like
just from
All
this
Emmy
person.
Award winners, though?
Well, I don't
Of
know
the
about
5? I don't know. I'm
honestly,
asking.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying for
No,
their
certainly
mark.
not.
I'm just saying for their mark in television.
Sure. Right.
So
I agree.
I think the Jonathan Winters, absolutely, you can't escape him. He did so much for television and comedy and stand up.
Amazing.
Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Gene
I mean,
Stapleton. Okay,
come on.
Edith Bunker's character
Right.
broke so many different stereotypes over the years. And when she died, like she decided she was done.
Yeah.
And they staged the entire checkout for Edith Bunker, which was a huge thing on television. I agree with that too.
Oh no, that's what I said, because it's all personal. So to me, I was like, do one Gene Stapleton thing and put everybody else as a crawl along the bottom, because
Sure.
she
was
that was
amazing.
the one that was moving to
Right.
me.
I thought they seemed to do different generations. They reached different audiences
Right, that's
through
what-
those tributes. But
And that's
so
what
I
I
thought it
thought,
was totally appropriate.
and everybody seemed pertinent to TV. Everybody was, because you're always pushing something.
Like someone likes John Waters, someone likes Gene Stapleton. My parents watched The Sopranos. I watched Glee. Like, so there's
Right.
different.
You're hitting every mark.
You're hitting different generations.
I
also
just want to
tried
go
to-
back and say John Waters.
Jonathan
did not
Winters.
die.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jonathan
John
Winters.
Winters.
That's
Jonathan
right.
Winters. I'm
Because I
sorry.
said
Just in case
I'm sorry.
someone
No, no, no.
heard it.
And I
like,
saw
what?
John
Jonathan
Waters
Winters.
like 3 times this
Fourth
year in Boston.
Arizona city, yes. Sedona, fourth city in Arizona to recognize same-sex civil unions.
I
Yes.
forgot they were voting on that
In
too.
a city council vote
So-
5-2, by the way.
I'm not sure what Rob Reiner was possibly pushing. Like, that's the only one. Michael J. Fox has a show on this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Glee is currently on, needs ratings.
Oh, so Rob Reiner was the
and-
one who did the
No,
Gene
he
Stapleton?
did the Gene Stapleton.
Sure.
Robin Williams has a new show on this
Yeah?
year.
Yeah, so-
Everybody has something to push.
spin. I agree.
Spin. Like, we're just
But
trying
did
to
you
sell
think?
something.
But did you think? Because you only named 2 of them, the other people were worthy of being
I
in
named
there.
4 because he had to produce the fifth one. There was Gene Stapleton,
No,
Jonathan
but as
Winters.
you were going through them, you were saying how you felt like that they were.
No, well, I think the two relevant, obviously, as big as those two, Jonathan Winters and Gene Stapleton were. But I really liked, and this is just me, and I knew that there were a lot of people who threw a fit about this. I liked the tie-in that they had. Obviously, it's scripted. Jane Lynch didn't come up with this all off the cuff. But when she said,
we all have problems with addiction.
Right. He was not perfect.
And we
do.
do.
And a lot of us in this room can identify with that. When she said that to me, I was like, yeah, exactly. Everybody in that room,
Sure.
not everybody, painting with a broad
No,
brush.
everybody.
So
But-
many
but-
people that wind up in
so
Tinseltown,
many.
if you will, wind up in some horrible blender of shit and they get addicted to something and have a problem.
And if it's not you,
If it's not you,
a
it's that's
family
thank
member.
you.
And
I
I
was
lo-
just about to say, if it's
and
not
I
you, it's
loved-
someone you love.
I liked how she hooked that in, but she got, not she in particular, but that whole segment got ripped because they're like, what do you mean throwing everybody into the bus like that? Because Charlie
Suck it,
Sheen's in the
yeah.
audience and all these other people who have snorted their way through fucking Hollywood and are a mess.
Or go to rehab to get their.
Right.
But they
that's
go
the
to
worst.
rehab sometimes, not for rehab, but to get it in the press that I'm
Lindsay
Kim Kardashian.
Lohan.
Right,
But
you're
it's-
just going to rehab.
It's so
just
horrible
for the publicity
Just the
of
publicity
that
of it
somebody
all. It's a
would
good point. It's a good
shit
point.
talk her for saying that, because I'm on the same page as you. You've either been it or you've been through it, and I don't know anyone
Anybody who doesn't. I
that doesn't know somebody that has been it or been through it.
Like
and
even-
so
even
everybody
Harrison-
you
has
have
been
a brother, for God's
yes,
sakes.
like everybody has been affected by some form of addiction.
We have multiple
In
friends,
some
actually.
And even Harrison
capacity.
came up with the term E-tards because the people that she used to hang out with back in the 90s were all on
Ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
and turned into E-tards.
yeah,
Well, and
I
my
did that
mom.
sometimes, but no ecstasy. No, not an
And
e-tard.
my mom.
I don't
Oh,
think.
yeah, your mom.
Yeah.
Lots of ecstasy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it happens.
So far, knock wood, I've not had to
So
go
that
to
was
that.
that was the big controversy, but there were some
should.
big.
Well,
Okay.
the other controversy, and forgive me if I'm saying exactly the same thing. I was out at the very beginning and in a different way. Is that this was coined the saddest Emmys?
Yeah, he did bring that
Oh,
up.
I'm
did,
sorry. So you
because
said that.
they kept bringing the mood down, and Neil Patrick Harris actually got kind of iffy reviews.
I just
Based
see,
on it.
and I thought it was on point, and I missed half of it because, like, what the fuck, 5 p.m.
I have it recorded.
What
If you
the
want to watch
fuck?
it after
Seriously.
after I
The
play the
Emmys
song for you, we
award
can-
show-
Thank you, because why are you gonna start me at 5 p.m.? I was cleaning out my garage. I was hanging some. I was like
Because
drilling some
award
shit.
shows are now live. We no longer go in the vacuum and watch
because
them in
of
the real time.
because of social media, they have no choice. Because if they started,
I
at-
thought 7.
no,
I was ready for
No.
7.
No, but 7 o'clock our time would be 10 o'clock East Coast time, and you're not going to start a show at 10 o'clock East
right.
Coast time.
Nobody there is going to watch
And
it.
like you said, with Twitter and Facebook.
So
and
it didn't
anything
really
else,
start at
everyone's
Everything's out.
the winners.
7
so
their
nobody
Yeah,
can
they
watch.
start in prime time on East Coast.
Unless you do what he does, which
Okay,
is
you came to my
ignore-
Oscars party.
Yeah,
They're
I was-
on that early.
She was there delayed
But
though.
Oscars still, and the one thing the Oscars always try
I
to
was
keep
cooking.
right, no matter where they bump that, because they used to be late March. They used to fall around Doug's birthday. They used to always be late March, but
Hey,
they
Doug,
would,
also.
they would make sure that they didn't get into the 3-hour time change.
Got it.
Actually, that makes no sense at all because it's just Arizona, so that's just bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
They never did that. I just thought they did.
Well, you made it sound really, really
I know.
Welcome to-
unbelievable. I'm like,
Welcome
yes,
to Al's
I
delusional
understand.
world.
Hallelujah,
Hey,
that's all made
it's
up.
his
Anyway,
entertainment.
I thought
But-
it was great. I thought
But the only award shows that was ever live, and the only reason that the Oscars always stay my favorite is that it was the only live award show up until 2 years ago when the Golden Globes
doing
switched.
the song in the middle of the show, which I loved. I love Neil Patrick Harris. I think he's
do too.
amazing.
Okay, on that point, I would like to go through and do a screenshot, email it to Neil Patrick Harris or whoever the choreographer was, and find out who the first guy on the left-hand side was, because that's all I really cared about.
Neil
comes back
Patrick
again.
Harris loved him as well.
I
Remember,
loved
he's like,
him.
and
This is the
who's
guy
that
that
guy that
lifted
lifted me up?
Oh, well,
He
then
makes me high.
Then we need to watch that again, because I was like, who is that guy? He's adorable.
He
Neil
comes
loves
back
him.
again and he spun him again. He
God,
loves
Neil
him up.
Patrick
Funny.
Harris. I'm sorry. You are talented.
he's
The
you are
opening-
funny. You are amazing. You are gorgeous. You are perfect.
I agreed with what Kathy Lee said today on Today, which, by the way, Cher was on this morning and was fantastic. I'm sure you're going to get to that
Lots
too.
of-
she looked
but
really
Lots
good.
of work. Yeah, I like it though.
But
No.
Lots of work.
Kathy,
No,
Kathy,
but I
She's
mean,
70.
New work. No, but she looks great.
Yeah, she does
she
look
doesn't
good.
look like Joan Rivers. I got lots of work
if you
done.
had that money, well, Joan got a. It's different.
Come on, that's
Different.
butchered.
Yeah, but
Whereas-
Joan went from Joan to now.
Yeah, thank you.
She's
You're
got an
working from
HS
Joan to Joan
Yeah,
and Cher to
but-
She
Cher.
has an HSN face.
Come on, Cher though.
But
I think John looks better than
But
her.
one of the things that I agreed with Kathy Lee on, and I don't agree with her on much, except she
Love
should drink
you-
next
like
to
you
Hoda.
like Hoda.
I want to
Yeah.
drink next to Hoda and
Yeah.
have
Me
a
too.
TV show.
I
wanna
agree
do
with
that
both
too.
of them.
I agreed. I thought the TV segment in the beginning was too long. It was too much.
Yeah.
The
I
intro
missed
was
it.
way too much. Well,
Okay.
I have it recorded
No, the
again.
opening,
wanna
the
watch it.
opening
was
segment
way-
was
it was too much.
almost 15, 20 minutes.
No, it wasn't that long.
It was long.
But it was double what it should have been. Whatever it was too long.
Yeah.
In the middle of the song.
But
in
that
the
was
middle
funny.
of the
I enjoyed
show.
that.
Yeah.
I love when he did the dance break. The dance break in the song, in the middle of the
funny.
song, in the middle of the show. And I
And
was
I gotta-
like, you're clever. You're
I did
you're
have a couple
so
people
smart.
ask why we don't do dance.
And I got
clever.
we could put those back in.
I'll do
occasionally.
it.
What I did find interesting, the actor and actress that came out and did the number with him clearly are just used to being on set and acting.
Oh my God,
because
they're funny.
They were
Sarah
having
Silverman.
cardiac arrest
Boom.
after the thing at the end of when they all did they struck the pose.
Oh,
at
no,
the
that
end.
was an act.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. It's Sarah Silverman doing that.
Does she
funny.
look? She doesn't strike me as somebody who's ever danced or can do anything.
not
Probably
a
not.
fit
I'm with
dancer.
Clayton.
Oh my God.
No,
No.
she's not a dancer.
That
No,
was
no,
a
is
joke.
she?
Oh,
that
I
they
didn't-
were because they had done nothing. They stepped off stage for 5 minutes. They walked off stage.
I didn't
I-
see any of it, but Sarah Silverman is not a dancer.
I know, but it's a
Yes?
joke. It's Nathan
I
Fillion.
didn't
But
take it
I
as a-
also didn't see them dancing.
It's Nathan Fillion from the Dr. Morables. What's Neil Patrick Harris's big thing? The Joss Whedon produced. Oh, you guys know nothing.
yes, but it's the Bones or something.
No, yeah, but he is
Something like that.
He's the cult classic. He's from Serenity and Firefly. He's the captain that everybody loves. But he did Dr. Morrible's Horrible Adventure, where he's the guy after Neil Patrick Harris, and it's the musical number that they do.
Okay.
It's a big musical that they wrote
Got
and
Of course
produced.
it is. I totally know what you're talking
I know.
about.
God, I forget you guys know nothing about pop
No.
culture. So
What?
They have this.
Apparently, we know nothing.
Not if you haven't seen
If
Doc-
you play back, if you
We
play
don't.
back,
We
he said,
don't
we
have
know
HBO. That's
nothing.
all that we don't
Oh my
have.
God.
We know nothing.
But that's how YouTube got. One of the ways that YouTube got big was Neil Patrick Harris and Nathan Fillion doing the evil doctor and the good doctor going at each other in this musical that they wrote. Okay. And it's a big thing.
They wrote it?
Josh Whedon wrote it. So, and I can't explain who he is. So what they
I
did
know
was
Josh Whedon.
Sarah Silverman, one of the greatest comedians, like they walked
she's
off stage for the dance number and they came back out and went, ta-da!
Oh, okay.
To make it look like they'd been in the whole number and they
Wait,
were
Neil
off-
Patrick Harris and who?
No, Nathan Fillion and yeah.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I had been.
I was focusing on the
I
other guy.
had been rescheduled.
You
I
gotta
have not
watch
had
my.
an
I
opportunity
try to
see
keep
it.
people up on my Facebook page and all this entertainment
Oh.
stuff.
Doctors?
Honey, I.
No, what? Doctor something or other. It's Dr. Morrible's Horrible something or other.
There you have it.
Okay, you got. I know you have more, so
Oh,
we're,
yes.
we're,
Called
we're gonna
Doctor's Office.
we will continue entertainment. I'm sure. Do you have something you can do for 60 seconds?
All right. Well, the Dexter finale was on, and it was I don't even know how to describe it.
Disappointing?
No, it was so good. Now, of course, any finale, some people are going to like it. Some
I feel like
are
people were
not.
disappointed. I feel like I heard
That's what I got.
Twitterverse was upset.
I heard Will and Grace ended.
Is there any show ending?
Is Archie Bunker still on?
Is there any show ending that Twitter didn't say was
this-
horrible?
I'm sorry, season ending or series ending?
Series ending. It was the end of Dexter.
Boom.
And I think they had one limitation in that Jeff Lindsay still writes the books. So I think they had a limit. Yeah, I think they had a little limitation on what they could do.
Does that mean they could potentially come back?
No.
If he writes more books.
No, but it was, and they really, I don't want to spoil anything because I know people are like 8 years behind on Dexter, or you've just never watched it because you're completely
and
retarded.
I will at some point.
Yeah.
But don't call me retarded.
I will. To miss Dexter, I'm
Amen.
serious. It is just one of the greatest shows ever. And
I
they
will watch it someday.
They sold the deal and they kept the main love interest together and they did it justice and he did his final kill and it was spectacular. His final kill was just spectacular.
People were up in arms though. That's what you're just saying, right? Like, because I
Everybody,
feel like I heard people were like,
but they bitched about Lost, they bitched about Friends, they bitched about. I've never heard of a show ending where someone didn't get on Twitter and say "fuck you." And Bill Maher this week, and I know none of you watch it, but Bill Maher this week did a whole thing about the cowardliness of Twitter and not justifying, because he's like, somebody said "fuck you, aren't you dead yet" to Betty White. He goes through all the Twitter things, and he's like, come on, Betty White, you're gonna put shit on Twitter's just a pussy
who does
move.
that?
That's just a
Right,
pussy
right,
move.
right.
But we'll get into the real
It's a good
Emmys
way
in a minute. and
We're going to come back and the beginning of hour 3 with Al Perkins, continuing on with his entertainment section. Also coming up, some sports stuff from Katie June. Whew, we have a lot more to happen. And also, I think we all took a test from Dr. Phil. Do we all have our results?
Yes.
Yes, I have
gotta
mine.
find mine.
No, you can
Ooh,
take
yeah.
you got yours?
I'm
We got
doing it right now.
Also coming up
I'm
at
glad.
the second half of hour 3 is Thoughtful Vulgarity. So much to happen, so much to enjoy. Get a drink. We'll see you in a minute right here on Q Talk America.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, 9 o'clock. Coming to you live from the Studio C in Central Phoenix. My name's Clayton McKee. Thank you for joining us. I'm here alongside Katie June, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. They make up the cast of the show. We do it every Tuesday nights from 7 to 10 Arizona time. We thank you for listening no matter where you are. Kuwait, Canada, the United States. So many people listening out there.
Oh, it was Lola
around.
from Toronto, wasn't it? Lola that used to be in the chat room with us?
There was somebody. I remember that.
Her name was Lola.
She was a showgirl.
Yep.
She was a showgirl.
Allegedly.
She
We're not
was.
sure.
She worked from 8 till 4.
She was
Barry
lo-
didn't have time for a better rhyme.
In love with Tony.
Somebody like Tony.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, so first I have to help you all out because I
Excuse
really
me,
don't
can
know
I-
how you do
can
this
I-
without me.
Can I finish
Go
this
ahead.
intro? God damn it.
God damn it.
Wow. I just tried to start off hour 3 and how things it's As
I'm in the middle of a giant pity fuck.
When we left you in the end of hour 2, if you weren't listening, Al was in the middle of entertainment section. We also have coming up our Thoughtful Vulgarity. Also, Katie coming up with a little sports segment, which she's very excited about because of something that some lesbians did.
Big night for the lesbians.
Also, we're going to talk about our Dr. Phil test results coming up in just moments, and they're good test results, not bad. But as we continue on with hour 3, we turn it back to Al Perkins, who is talking about the Emmys and entertainment and so many other things. Al, take it away.
Well, we just have to stop it right here because I cannot believe that you've made it to 2013 autumn of and have not heard of Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
No, yeah.
I have
There's
not-
not, you're-
I feel good about not
When did
having
you
heard
hear
of it.
about it?
About 5 years ago when it's what got YouTube started, and it's how Neil Patrick Harris got all these gigs. Like that's
By the way,
Neil
I'm
Patrick-
very upset that you have never heard about something I couldn't mention about 10 minutes ago.
I told you it was Dr. Horrible's Morables. I just didn't know what the official name was.
Oh, just
Dr.
relax.
What's it called, Doctor?
Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, and it's his name. Oh, I know, but it pisses me off. Because
Oh,
I
because
worry.
retarded, does
I
it?
worry for your soul. It does.
Like, really?
Okay.
I
I've written that.
I'm worried for your soul.
Hallelujah.
All right.
That's our drinking word, by the way.
Clearly, I am your guide to all TV because everything that I watch on TV won Emmys in all surprise categories. The Colbert Report, have I not been saying all year that he's been hitting it out of the park?
I know.
Yeah, the
I know.
Emmys is this year.
And he did.
And he did.
At the
12
Emmys.
solid months of reporting that Stephen Colbert would win the Emmy this year, and he didn't win one. No. He won two.
Multiple.
And remember when I told you that the big thing to watch was The Big C's Hereafter, and that they went for a miniseries because it was so good? And who won Best Actress in a Miniseries? Was it Laura Linney, who I get confused with Marianne?
May have been.
From Tales of the City. And she won Best Actress in a Miniseries over just about everybody. Yep, it was Laura Linney. That was her.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
Good for you, Laura.
Apparently, this is the segment of the show where Al's like, "Fuck you, I was right about everything," which is different than any
isn't
other
that
show.
every other
exactly.
week?
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
And
Thank
remember
you.
when I tell you to watch award shows for how funny they are and how funny the show Veep is? And if you don't have
Yes.
HBO, you're really missing on something?
But wait, I think you're a fucking R word.
No, that
Wait, what? Okay.
That
I'm
only
sorry.
goes for Dr.
Al,
Horrible.
Remember how I missed some of
Checking
this?
it- I'm checking
Tell me
his
about Veep.
temperature.
What did they win?
I like it.
What the fuck are you doing if you're missing this part? So
I
anyways,
missed the whole
Okay.
I missed up until the Corey Monteith situation.
Okay, so every year the best actresses in a comedy, because they're all friendly, have gotten together. And one year they did the beauty pageant thing where they stood on stage together, unexpected to the producers, and held hands. And then someone won, and they acted like it was a beauty contest. And then last year, Julia Louis-Dreyfus won, and she actually 3 years ago they all wore funny glasses. And last year they exchanged thank you. They
Bless you.
exchanged their bless you. They exchanged
Bless
their
you.
thank yous. So in case they won, they would read someone else's acceptance speech.
Ah.
And
Oh,
Julia
that was
Louis-Dreyfus got up and
hysterical.
read
Wait, it was not
Parks and
Polar?
Recreation.
Polar.
Yeah,
Amy Poehler's.
read her thank you note.
That was
well, this year they
funny.
decided, and they did it very last minute to do it in character. So Tony Hale won for Veep for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy.
Love him.
Extremely gracious.
So perfect.
And it was a lovely
Agreed.
win because he, could have been nominated for Arrested Development, but they went there. And then Julia Louis-Dreyfus won almost immediately after, and he somehow made it to his seat in case. And that was the weird thing because that press room takes a long time.
To go
Yeah.
through
And
all of
usually
that.
the winner
They're not
doesn't-
back.
but he was
quickly.
back. So they announced Julia Louis' name, and she stood up, and I think everyone wondered if she would really do it, not knowing what was going to happen. But she stopped, looked back, and barked at him to take her purse, and she did it in Veep character, where he stood behind her and whispered "Thank your family. I'd like to thank my family. I love them.
Stop it, I
love them."
missed it.
And it was
I saw all of that, but I didn't understand
by
the
the way,
backstory.
I just
It
wanna-
was
I just
the
want to.
show.
Hey, Katie, who's got a DVR? We're gonna
Yeah,
watch
no,
it right
I
after.
can't wait. Literally,
It's
I already texted Kelly. I'm
priceless.
staying late.
I know. I feel good about it though because I'm
So,
excited about that. I
Bobby
didn't see it.
Cannavale, who I'm always talking about.
I
on
saw
every
him
show.
win.
I'm happy to see him do
He
more.
I didn't
won
realize he was
everything.
with Rose Byrne, and I love her.
Love her.
Now we have to remember
Damages.
I talk about all the time.
And
Nurse
Bridesmaids,
Jackie.
funny.
I'm not a big fan.
Hysterical.
I don't particularly
Say again?
love
Go.
Nurse Jackie.
Yes.
I don't particularly love
I
Nurse Jackie.
love Nurse Jackie, and I love that girl.
Yes.
But what was the deal? Like,
All right.
she won, and everyone
Stop
was upset.
talking, and I'll tell you.
Go.
Wow.
I'm very tired.
Hashtag shut up,
cracking me.
Katie.
Check mark
up.
camera.
Hallelujah.
Crowd.
Very tired.
On my, that's
So-
what the show should be called. On the way to my sleep meds.
Yeah. So I've been saying all along that show's not really a comedy. The only person
It
in
is.
a comedy is Nurse Zoe.
She's so
and
good.
we've been talking about it for years. Nurse Zoe is my favorite character.
have
Last year when she
mentioned
got
that?
nominated,
We've been on 18
I
months.
know. I'm like, it has
But this is the
been-
second year of Emmys. And when she got nominated
That's
last year for
true.
the first time, I said
She's amazing.
she'll never win, but isn't it great that someone noticed that she's the only person in a comedy in that show? And Bobby Cannavale is also on Nurse Jackie. And then this year, I said when I read the nominations, I'm like, and once again, Merritt Weaver, for no reason, is getting nominated. No one gets what she's doing. She's in a completely different show.
She's hilarious.
So she wins Best Supporting Actress. She's completely over, and she says "holy shit" right into the camera, much to the horror of
Oh, I didn't
everyone
see.
on
I
TV.
missed that. We'll have to watch that. I missed that.
She gets up on stage and she says, "Thank you, thank you." She starts to cry and she's like, "I gotta go,"
I gotta go, and she walks
and
off.
she walks away.
It's so her. It's so her character.
Yeah, so her character.
It's
One
amazing.
line, "I gotta go," and it was the greatest moment. And Neil Patrick Harris was like, best speech ever, because it was kind of Nurse Zoe in character. I gotta go.
But she did say in an interview that she was about to lose it and she didn't want to do it in front of everybody, so she just walks away.
You can see it come over her
I
face.
can't believe she won an Emmy
Because she had the
I
same
love her.
thought. She had the same thought that I did. It's like, that's so charming. She's the one nominee of every single one that I said it's an honor to be nominated. Like, you didn't even have to buy a dress. There's no way you're going to win in this competition.
Well, she's also a guest character on New Girl.
On New Girl.
And she's just awesome.
I
love her.
think that helped her chances. I think even though New Girl got no love this year, I think that helped her. And then the best one, because I tried to get you all to watch The Newsroom because I think it's fantastic.
I started, by the way, also House of Cards. Started that.
So just remember when you get caught up on Newsroom that while we're going through this whole sarin gas thing in Syria, they were doing, without any warning, a sarin gas story
before this happened.
in the same time.
Oh.
They were like, they've been on the sarin gas story.
But they didn't know it was going to happen.
No, they didn't know it was going to happen. It's slightly different, but they've been on a
maybe they
sarin
did.
gas story. So Jeff Daniels, in the biggest upset of the night, because everyone thought the guy from Breaking Bad would win.
Duh. It's their last season. They won Best Show, blah, 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 blah.
But because the show ended last night, they'll be in competition. They can compete one more time. But Breaking Bad did win best drama.
Best drama.
So
And
that was
as they should have.
That was a big win because it was their first win after 3 nominations and a big deal. There's a show called Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it's the guys that made
Andy
Parks and Rec.
Samberg.
Andy
I fucking
Samberg.
love it.
So
I'm like
good.
into it.
Is
Hello,
it
Captain.
smart?
Welcome to the murder.
Is it smart?
It is.
Smart
Welcome
fun?
to the
No, but
murder.
I mean, like smart funny, like just
Yeah,
stupid
it
smart
totters,
funny.
it totters that line.
Dads, another show by Fox. Fucking stupid. Don't watch
Yeah.
it. A couple other shows by Fox. Don't. But this is an NBC show.
I can't remember what. No. It's
Is
on
it a
before.
Fox?
It's on before New Girl, so I think it's on
Is it
Fox.
Fox? Regardless, it's Andy Samberg, and
It's on It's on tonight.
I want to I have to give him
So
love
it's
just
Tuesday
because
night.
he's funny, and I
Yeah.
love Justin
He kind of
Timberlake. He does
annoys
Justin
me.
Timberlake. No, he's good
No,
though.
I'm just saying it's not that he's not good. He just kind of
Is
annoys me.
annoying.
And he's made every bad movie possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So he had to do something.
This
because,
show's
oh my God.
actually-
Well, because it's almost like I'm glad that he's doing this because he
Yeah.
got out of
It's stupid.
Adam Sandler.
Yes.
He got out of
Yeah.
his shadow.
Yeah.
And that's
this,
a big deal.
This show is not super smart, but it is funny.
Yeah, it was,
Right.
and it was
It
just
is funny.
And
it was
that's
a
what-
nice.
that's
He
all
has a
you wanna
good
look
sense
for.
of humor.
Yeah.
It was a very nice 30 minutes. I thought it was a nice ensemble, and I really
Ensemble, as I like to call it.
ensemble.
Well, it's French.
But I had to give them
Hallelujah.
credit
European.
across the board for keeping me entertained.
Yeah, it was fun.
for 22
I liked
solid
it.
minutes. And there's another show with Allison Janney who hopefully I
Mom.
don't have to. Hopefully
I love
Which
Allison
so they have
Janney.
Dads
Like,
on
there's no
Fox,
tomorrow.
which is fucking stupid with Seth
Right.
Green. Miss it, skip it. But Mom, I just love Allison Janney, and that other girl.
Yeah, I do too.
Her hair's a little
is that?
too blonde for
Who's
me.
the other?
She's from the Scream movies. I can't think of her name.
Oh my god! And she
And
In the Bunny movie, she was the House Bunny movie.
House- yeah.
She
Oh,
actually has a really long string of hits.
super blonde.
Yeah.
Little too blonde for
Her
me.
name's not coming to me, but she has
it starts with an A. Anna Faris.
Anna Faris.
What? What?
Yeah, you got it.
Hey.
You got
Pop
it.
superstar.
But I have to tell you that the Allison Janney, it's not super
funny.
laugh out loud funny, but it's so well written. It really was a well written episode about two people going through AA, a mother and daughter going through AA, and it
I
was
actually like that clip when they go, and she's like, "We're in Alcoholics Anonymous." She's like, "It's Alcoholics Anonymous, not Alcoholics Tell You Later."
Right.
but it really went deeper than snarky comments. Like they really did address like their relationship. It was another one like Nurse Jackie. It's not really a comedy. Like I'm kind of hesitating to call it a comedy, but it's a 30-minute show. There was some when they got a laugh, it was
dramedy?
honest. A dramedy. And when they got a laugh, it was honest. That's a real thing.
The sister of Rom Con.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
it really was an honest laugh when you got it, but the rest of the time you really bought into both of them because they're both in recovery, teenage daughter of a teenage daughter, so some kind of like real issues, kind of parenthoody. It had a feel to.
Really? I love
it.
that show.
Yeah, it was on. It's on Monday nights. It's 30 minutes. It's an easy 22 minutes. And Allison Janney and her just
Allison Janney's great.
Yeah, she's perfect. And they just rolled through it. It ended, and I was like, I could have watched another half hour of that, and I'd been fine. So
What about Kerry Washington losing out? I was surprised. Were you?
Yeah, but the Emmys are lazy. They always give. They just keep. They're very. This was the first year they've really not just repeated the same thing
are the
over
Emmy
again.
voters? Because they should have given
It's
it
a
to.
blue-
And I love Homeland and Scandal, but they should have given it to Kerry Washington.
It's a blue ribbon panel because if you work in TV, there's very little chance that you can watch all those shows. So they pick a blue ribbon panel.
What does that mean?
That means that they take a group of people that say, I have time to watch this stuff.
I have time to
and
watch
then,
it.
And then
Can I be
everybody,
on the panel?
But they're usually in the industry. And then and this is Sofia Vergara's problem from what I've read, is then you get nominated for the whole season. Somebody has watched the whole season and they nominate you, and the nominating committee's bigger. But for the win, Sofia Vergara has to pick one episode of the 22 and say,
this is my submission.
This is my submission. This is the episode. And that's why they have episodes.
I wondered how they do that.
And usually it's when-
directing for blah blah episode.
Yeah, and no, but for directing, because there's 22 different directors, so you get
You will-
nominated
yes,
for your
okay, right,
episode.
yeah.
But the actors pick the one, and usually it's the one where you're pregnant and have the baby, because that's how Phoebe won for Friends, and it's how Jennifer Aniston won for Friends. Anytime somebody has a baby, guaranteed Emmy, because you mix comedy with drama. If it goes too drama and it's not funny, you lose, but you gotta get funny. And what they keep saying about Sofia Vergara is she is, for some reason, so magnanimous that she picks episodes where she's kind of funny, but her co-stars look better. Oh. And they said that they want to call her agent. Entertainment Weekly's like, we want to call her agent and tell her,
Quit
yes.
submitting other people.
And they say
Yeah,
that
right?
it may be that when they're watching Sophia's episode, because she picks the one where everybody shines, that's how they keep winning Best Comedy. That they're like, well, we just watched that episode and it was
And
so
that was
funny.
funny as
Right.
shit.
Right. And they
But not her so much.
But they said, because the one year she picked the worst, because this year I didn't go that deep into the Emmys to find out what they did. But the last 2 years, I had to agree that both times she picked Claire's episode over hers. Like,
Well, I feel like Claire's a funnier character than her.
I don't think so at all. I think
you don't?
Sophia has the one with El Diablo where she's obsessed with that dog that's dressed as a butler is just fucking hysterical.
I love Claire. I love her. I
and
love
do
her
too.
like straight play at the comedy.
So I mean, it's just funny things, and they're saying that this Q&A episode, and I have to agree with them because it won for best writing. The Q&A episode of Homeland was amazing, and they said that Carrie.
Oh, Homeland's one of my favorite shows.
Right,
of all
but
time.
they said that just episode to episode that Kerry Washington probably just did not submit an episode where she shined as much.
Somebody saying
So-
hi to you in the chat room.
So you mentioned Kerry Washington, and she.
Oh, Braun, hey!
Braun Pfeiffer?
Braun Pfeiffer?
Because
Pfeiffer?
Braun really did not like the
OMG.
Dexter finale.
Oh, hi, Braun.
Hey, Bronny. How are ya?
One, you bring up Kerry Washington. I was at my Sunday changed a little bit. I spent the entire afternoon and evening with Mom, which was wonderful. We had dinner.
Nice.
We watched the Emmys. I updated her iOS on both things. It was a wonderful actually afternoon. But we watched the Emmys. So Kerry Washington walks out, and who does she walk out next to?
Diane Carroll. Looks
Diane
amazing.
Carroll is.
Ooh, I don't know who she is, but she's
Diane
gorgeous.
Carroll
amazing,
is
yeah.
78 years old.
Right.
I mean, and the
Formerly
what,
married
60?
to Vic Damone.
and the phrase "black don't crack" is clearly working for her.
Sure.
She was, and I forget,
And Cher.
I forget the character name, but she was on Dynasty. What was her character name? Al, do you remember this on Dynasty?
Dominique Devereaux.
Dominique Devereaux. She
Well,
was
Right out of my
Such a
ass.
black name.
Hallelujah.
right.
That's
so
fantastic.
in the world
Right
of
out of my ass.
Linda Evans,
Fantastic.
Joan Collins, John Forsythe, Diane Carroll, all characters of the early '80s Dynasty with big shoulder pads.
She looked gorgeous.
She looked fantastic.
And she's the
Wonderful.
first black woman
I
ever
got-
nominated
right?
for
For-
Best Lead Actress.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
in a
important.
drama.
And that was in
Yeah.
the 60s?
Late 60s, early 70s, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So it was just very cool to
That's
see
a
her because
big
immediately
deal.
Mom and I were like, "Wow, she looks fantastic," and she was fantastic because you don't see her, and I think basically she's done. I don't want to say she's done nothing. She's probably done something here or there since Dynasty went off the air, but I think she pretty much is one of those people that kind of just checked out and said, "Okay, I'm going to live on residuals and be done with this for a while," and she checked out. I'm guessing. Do you know anything else about her, Al?
No,
She's still
trying.
alive.
She's still trying to work. I want to say.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Right, but I don't know that she's done much else since Dynasty.
If I had to pull something completely out of my ass, I want to say that after Vic Damone died, she was heartbroken, and that she's kind of stayed to herself.
Understandable. And I haven't seen him in a long or heard from him in a long
that?
time.
Because he's dead.
I know.
Vic Damone? That's what I thought. I was gonna be like, no, he's dead.
Vic's son.
Don't know who he is,
No,
but
no,
I'm
wait,
sad that
wait.
he's dead.
Vic's son, Perry Damone, used to work for KEZ here in town and was a DJ
really?
in the afternoons. And I knew Perry. I never met his dad, Vic, but I knew Perry.
Was it DJ?
Yeah, it was an afternoon DJ on KEZ 99.9 in Phoenix. Perry Damone, absolutely. So
I don't remember that name at all.
And Vic used to come in with Beth and Bill in the morning and just say hi and sing and
Right,
chat.
I remember that.
Absolutely.
I remember that.
But Perry was Perry is Vic's son. and lived here.
Timon. Did he sing that song?
Is she gonna dance again? What the fuck is she
Okay,
doing?
I have good,
Hallelujah.
I have
don't know
good
what's
news and
happening.
bad news. Vic Damone is still very much alive.
Oh,
They
they got divorced apparently.
They divorced in
dead.
'96,
There you
and
go.
I think she hasn't worked since they were divorced.
Oh,
because he's been happily married for 15 years to someone named Rena Rowan.
Who is
Hey,
probably
Rena.
who is
What's
not
up, girl?
Diane Carroll.
She's a whore.
But Diane Carroll looked fantastic.
Is she
She
white?
really does. No, Diane Carroll.
And how?
No,
She's definitely not white.
Oh,
Rita
the new
Rena.
the new woman.
Rita Romero.
The new Ms. Damone.
Right.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea. Wow. Al, have we wrapped up what you call entertainment?
Yeah, we're done. But Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
I wrote that down.
Well, if I
October
do
3rd
nothing else this fucking week, it's going to be that.
October 13th, I'm hosting a
Dr. Horrible
We're
sing-along
not
blog.
going to be in time.
not that. I'm hosting the
Is it
Walking
karaoke?
Dead premiere party.
Oh.
I thought I invited you, Al.
You did.
Clayton, would you like
Both
to
of you guys
go
are invited.
somewhere? Anywhere?
When is this? What day?
October
October
13th is
13th.
a Sunday.
I'm not sure after I
Sunday.
called you all retards.
Where-
Yeah.
that
where
I'm
is
Do you
this?
think?
Where is it?
At my home. I'm going to have some.
If I only
I
knew where you
may or
lived.
may not have. Shut the fuck up.
Super
you,
far
You were
away.
there today,
I know
so
I
you
was.
definitely know. I may or may not have
lost
drinks with dry ice. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay.
I have a couple of other fans
Will they be
arriving,
red?
and by that I mean my
Will they
cousin
be
and my
red?
aunt and
No.
Doug Wilkie will also be there.
Oh.
Yeah, he was invited.
Okay.
So it's gonna be fun.
Invited doesn't mean he'll show up.
Well,
I'm not sure. Does he watch?
he says he does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Doug, if you're
Jimmy
out there,
Galvin,
you're
first
very
time
invited.
listener.
Hey, Jimmy Galvin.
Jimmy Galvin.
Galvin.
Okay, let me just.
Hi,
Can I
handsome.
talk to Jimmy Galvin for just one
Yeah.
gay
And
moment?
Why don't we just go ahead and separate here? Go ahead.
So just
Your
for a
show.
second, Jimmy Jim, it's my show. Thank you. Jimmy,
Well, Al doesn't think so.
Jimmy Galvin. If you've been on Facebook, and I can't imagine that any of you have been because it's so not popular.
What's it called?
Facebook, Twitter, Twitterbook, MySpace. That's the one.
Tweaker book.
Anyway,
Whatever.
Jimmy Galvin poked me on there, but apparently you
Oh,
can poke
well.
people. I don't poke back. I don't
Well.
poke people.
Well,
I don't.
That's
poke,
not what people.
I don't
have
poke
said.
people on Facebook. So I just let you know. Don't be offended if I just deleted your poke and have moved on. So there you go.
Is that rude to delete a poke?
I delete a lot of things. I'm invited to a lot of events. I just delete.
There's one on October 13th I heard about that.
that I'm not involved in. Yeah.
That we're invited to.
Yeah, Doug's going. So I have to wait and see if
Dun,
Doug shows
dun,
up.
dun.
If Doug shows
Right?
up, there's that.
I know, but we're not going to explain people
The
to
villainess.
No, we shouldn't. Katie June,
I don't want to be
I think it's time
explained
to go to your
I got it.
alleged sports.
I only have a couple of headlines, which is perfect.
That's
for
all
this
we
crew.
need because we've only got 10 minutes left in the segment. Here we go.
This week in
Sports.
the Mercury advanced to the semifinals. The NBA is planning a nickname jerseys.
What?
And college football is uniting. We've got lots of things happening
In sports.
Hallelujah.
All righty,
Hey,
Katie
everybody.
June. There you go.
So it's only a couple of headlines this week because I know that I tend to get pushed to the end of the show, and I'm okay with that as everyone else is.
Oh, I did too. Entertainment didn't start till 5 to 9.
Well, headlines took forever because we had so much quality things to talk about.
Lots of things
By the
going
way,
on.
I'm going to work on the pie charts. We're going to change some things.
quality
Keep going.
No. I'm not
good.
complaining, but
Yeah, I'm
I
quite
will
sure.
say that. Okay, so the first thing that's most important that I can really speak from the heart
Okay.
is the WNBA.
Oh,
So the our Phoenix Mercury,
Our.
they made it.
Our.
Thank
Your.
you.
Your
Our bitch, you live in Phoenix. Okay,
Oh.
they're yours too, whether you want them or not.
bitch.
We made it to the
NBA finals.
WNBA finals.
Like Western Conference.
Yeah, but it wasn't even Western Conference, to be totally honest. Well, no, it was the Western Conference.
Oh, I thought we were on our way to the Western Conference now.
I'm
Against
so fucking confused, aren't
Hold
you?
please. What?
There's
I'm sorry, I don't know all of the
semifinals,
conference.
And
Yes,
then
this
there's
is the
the
West
finals.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is the Western Conference semifinals.
All right, okay.
I mean, I would guess.
So
I
confused.
try to pay attention to you
Thank
guys'
you.
segments.
I literally-
since you don't know anything about mine.
I know that most. I know everything
I
about the
can't
Mercury.
afford your segment.
I never pay attention to what the title is.
I like it because you know anything about mine. I don't know yours.
Yeah,
Big baby.
Tired and
So-
bitchy.
And he is.
Every week.
And how?
I'm going to buy him those fucking sleeping pills.
The Merc played the LA Sparks, who had a better record than us. We went into the the series. It's a best of 3 series, so it's real short. And we went in.
So are most
they
of the
were
players.
they were a lot better than we were going in. They have a couple of really incredible players. Candace Parker and Christy Tolliver are superstars, as do we. But
You got a little uptight at the game.
Oh, it was really intense.
Bad calls, as I recall.
Oh,
Thank you.
Pretty sure she
Real
wrote
fucking
a
bad
strongly
calls.
worded letter.
Really, really bad calls by the refs. Now, first of all, if we've ever talked about the WNBA before,
Never
you will
have.
know that the refs are fucking awful. I'm sorry, but you are the reject refs, which is really sad because the WNBA is not reject players. They're not reject sports, but every ref that can't make it somewhere else ends up in the WNBA, and it's bullshit.
That's very unfair.
It's
to them.
bullshit.
They went from the NFL.
Even
Yeah.
No. I will tell you so much that
Buddy
even
early on the line.
All right, so game 1 we have in LA. Phoenix wins in LA, right? So
Huge.
big upset to LA. Now, when we had met at that point 6 times after the first game. We've met 6 times, 3-3. They won 3, we won 3. So it was really an even, really solid matchup. So the second game happened in Phoenix and LA won. And the third game happened last night in LA. So you tend to think that the home team has the advantage, blah, 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 blah. Well, the ESPN announcers even acknowledged that the refs were fucking Phoenix over so bad.
Is that a quote?
Well, from me.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, just
I'll add
checking.
the euphemisms,
Hashtag
please.
Katie June. That we were getting screwed so bad on all the calls. I think at one point towards the end of the game, the announcer referenced that this is just ridiculous. Let these girls play this game. Like, let the girls play basketball. And it was the second night in a row that the announcers had acknowledged, the second game in a row, that Phoenix was being really screwed. And I think, one of the things is that Candace Dupree, one of our superstars, got a technical. We had 3 technicals last night. Candace Dupree for throwing her arms in the air. Apparently that's illegal. But if you really watched back, she did one arm. Could have been anything. Maybe it was a fly. Maybe she was swatting a bug. Maybe. DeWanna Bonner.
Maybe.
On the court.
DeWanna Bonner made a basket and then ran back and was essentially cheering and did a yes yell to the side. That was a technical somehow.
You are funny.
Oh, we were pissed. And Diana Taurasi got a technical. Now, hers are always well-deserved because her mouth, she got a mouth that don't quit.
Apparently, according to Harrison, so do I, but go ahead.
So, anyhow, it was a really intense game. It was fantastic. Brittany Griner, in my opinion, sucked balls. I'm sorry, Brittany. Yeah.
I doubt that really happened, though.
She doesn't seem like
did
it.
Hallelujah.
She did not do that.
Metaphorically.
Hallelujah. Thank you.
Well
Thank
played.
you, Al.
I like it.
But she was horrible. And Kelly, like I had said earlier, our neighbors may or may not have thought that a beating,
Domestic violence was happening at your
going
house.
down because our doors were open because it was beautiful. Palmer was asleep, so Kelly and I were fully focused on the game. And Kelly was, and this is it's fun. She loves women's basketball, and it's really fun to watch with her. And she was really intense and yelling, "What the hell are you thinking? What the hell was that?" And I'm going, our neighbors for sure think I'm getting beat because I'm silent. I was half working and half doing that. So I'm not even talking. And occasionally you just hear me go, whoa. I mean, it could have been a yell, a scream, an abuse. I don't know. But we had a lot of fun. The game was really tight. Both teams were vying for moving to the next round. Candace Parker from the LA Sparks has never made it. She has no championships. And she's one of the most celebrated players in the WNBA. For her, this was a replay of last year when they lost to Minnesota.
I was going to say the Lynx, yeah.
And she was devastated. And honestly, I love her as a player. It was, if she wouldn't have beaten if our team wouldn't have been the ones to beat her, I would have been sad for her. Brittany Griner sucked. She looked like she had no idea what was going on. She came in at the very last minute with a quick shot, a quick basket that actually put us over the edge. And in the last 7 seconds, there were 7 seconds to go. We dribbled the ball down the court. Brittany Griner puts it in the basket. Leaves 4.9 seconds on the clock. We're able to stop LA.
You need to be an announcer.
From the other side.
I like how you're doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, it was really exciting.
Well played.
But the problem is just post game, everyone is on Twitter going, Griner's my girl. Yeah, Brittany Griner. And Kelly and I are like, this bitch looked blind and deaf for half this game. And I'm not joking you.
Helen Keller has joined the WNBA.
Literally not joking you. She was like literally standing on the court. Was she there? I don't know. Was she high, drunk, clueless, scared? I don't know. Like, name an emotion
Can we
other
be sued
than
for any of this? Because I don't think drunk and high are emotion.
Aim an emotion or
They can be.
Name a state of being other than like total shock and paranoia.
Comatose?
And she was there.
Maybe
she
that.
was she was like freaked out. And I at one point was texting my friend Travis Shoemake. You may or may not know him from the Power Hotel.
Oh
He's
my
gorgeous.
God.
Yes. Travis and I were texting during the game, and I said,
11.
"What the fuck?" And he goes, "That is one big dumb lucky bitch." Like literally, she.
So Travis
sucks.
hasn't changed much.
No.
Good.
Not-
Tell him I love him. That's
He
all.
is
It
gorgeous.
hasn't changed much.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So I could go on and on. It was a really, really exciting game, and we advanced to the quarterfinals. Right? Is that what the semifinals?
Against the number one team now, right?
The number one team, the Minnesota
See how I
Lynx.
pay attention to the people's segments?
So this is gonna be
Watch and learn, bitches.
This is
Shut up, Dexter.
It's gonna actually be really
Watch and learn, bitches.
It'll be really intense. So the first game is this Thursday. It's gonna be televised on ESPN or ESPN2. El Ocho,
Ocho.
if you will.
Yeah, it's
Right.
almost a sport.
But either
it's
way,
on El Ocho.
I would invite you all to watch. If you'd like to come to my house to watch, we'll have it on.
When is that?
It's
I
on.
wasn't
It's
listening.
Thursday.
Thursday. I wasn't listening.
So it'll be exciting.
I may have to see someone else named Braun.
Next game
Might be
is
in town.
actually on Sunday. It's a home game, and Mercury will need your support. So if any of the three of you are listening, or anyone out there listening that live in town, come to the game. Literally message me for tickets. I can get you
Lower
tickets.
expectations.
I know. Last game in Minnesota, Kelly and I may or may not try to go. So that's
Oh,
happening.
that'll be exciting.
I can get you a place to stay.
She works. No, she works in Minneapolis. That's one of her
Oh, that's
major
right,
hubs.
from
So
what you had
she
said.
can get
That's right.
everything paid for, and I just tag along. Okay,
There's
so
no shame in
That's
that,
well
by the
no,
way.
moving
None
on.
at all.
The APU.
Can she get that paid for me as well?
Maybe. I mean, you want to?
I'm willing to be a sister wife.
How about a babysitter? That takes a longer.
Wait a minute,
She's
wait a
like
minute.
sister wife, yes. Babysitting, not so much.
I knew she wasn't looking at me.
So listen, let me tell you about
Carry the
APU. Have you
one
heard of this
plus
in the last
9.
week?
No.
I feel like this is a real
yeah.
Buddy Early kind of a thing
Yeah.
because he loves college football, right?
Yeah, I do not agree with college football.
I don't get it, but I'm trying. So the APU campaign gaining steam. The APU is a number. Essentially, I'm gonna really dumb it down because I don't know a ton about it. But it is college football players who are basically banding together. Here's what happened. There were a couple of college football players that received quote unquote favors from either teams or booster club members or supporters. And we're talking about like buying me dinner. Like not like, we're not talking taking me to the Ruth's Chris. We're taking buying me some fucking Taco Bell because I am a broke ass college student and I want to eat some tacos, right?
Still?
And
So-
I'm helping your college earn millions
Thank you.
of dollars.
So the NCAA is coming down on these players, and some of these players have been getting fucked recently. And one of the specific stories, I don't recall what college it was coming out of, but it was
Hallelujah.
specifically about Taco Bell tacos. The coach brought him tacos, and the NCAA, somebody somehow found out, ran it up whatever flagpole, and they were in trouble. And this kid got suspended. The coach was in trouble. It's a whole brouhaha. So.
Because they spent money on him.
They spent money on a player.
yeah.
They're getting the same thing with boosters, booster club members who are helping out. And we're not talking buying you cars. We're talking like, here's $50, go to the grocery store, right? Or whatever.
Right.
So the players are starting to kind of rise up against this. And they're saying exactly what you said, Al. This is a multi-billion dollar industry, and we are seeing zero. We are getting scholarships, some of us. But even some of us that are getting scholarships we're getting our college paid for, but we're not getting no stipend, no living expenses. And our job, full-time job, is to play football.
And it's not go to school.
No, it is not go to school. It is to play football. And that's what these kids are saying. And so they started this APU, and it started at Georgia, somewhere in Georgia, and kind of some of the southern states have really started it.
Because that's where football is real.
And it's
Completely agree
expanding.
with Harrison right now. They get a college education. They do get paid.
They
They get a college education.
But okay, but let's
But you have to
end-
live somewhere else, and they're making millions.
Yes.
They have to live
of
somewhere else.
dollars.
billions.
No, this is
Well,
like
tell me
about
billion.
billion.
This is a
Billions?
billion with a B dollar
This
industry.
is a billion. College football is $1 billion industry,
Right.
Where the coaches make like Joe Paterno, while
Right. No, you're right. I
while
get that.
raping students is making $50 million contracts.
Joe,
These
Joe wasn't
students-
raping students for
some-
other people.
No,
were.
helping.
I
I want to also
Turning a
say
blind
to
Helen
Harrison,
Keller eye.
I can appreciate that because yes,
I
they're
do,
getting a
I
free
agree.
college education, but you know what? So do a lot of people who just like do really well in their grades. They're getting a free college education. They're not at college. They're at
but nobody's
those people are at
scrutinizing
college
them.
to learn.
People aren't scrutinizing them the same way because you don't know that Stephen Hawking isn't out there going, "Hey, I'm going to buy you a house if you come up with."
Exactly.
You know,
People aren't scrutinizing them.
nobody
But the
knows.
thing is that football players are not. The
offered
kids that get a full ride to college are getting a full ride to go to school, except for athletes. They're getting a full ride to go to school and also have a full time job playing a sport that brings in millions
That
of
they
dollars.
travel. So you
for
figure
the
every
school.
Saturday you have to be in another part of the country. You have to travel, and now they have these academic grades.
thing, and you get to play football.
No, it is. It is a full time
I'm
job.
not- I'm not-
and you get to play football, and you
Yes,
get to do what you
no.
love, and that you've
And
got
you
to
get
do what you
concussions,
love.
and you get the shit kicked out of
But
you.
that's a choice you're making.
It is a choice you're making, but also they're being hired for a full time job. Like the point is,
and not
my
all of them
point-
are going to go on to be professional sports
No.
players.
Again,
A
not
very
all of
small
them.
It's a
number.
choice they're making.
It is.
So
They're-
if they take they take a deal from Taco Bell and they're going to get suspended and lose.
I'm not saying that
I know,
that
I'm not
part
in-
is
I'm not-
correct at
yeah.
all.
No, because
I'm just saying the idea of going and
It is
playing,
a choice. It is a choice, but here's the thing.
that's
My
theirs.
choice, okay, so I'm like a poor kid from Philadelphia. My choice is either not go to college at all. and
Just
just
a poor boy from a poor
Actually,
family.
I'm
not go
hearing-
to.
I'm hearing Will Smith.
My point. My choice is I don't go to college at all, or I go on a football scholarship. I get a degree. I get to play football, which is I'm really good at. But then I'm fucking broke, or I stay home and I work a dead end job and I'm broke. I mean, I get that they.
And if the colleges were some altruistic society
Thank
where
you.
they were like, oh
Let's-
no, we're not making any money off this. This is $1 billion.
Billion with a
This is
B.
Walt
I
Disney
don't
all over
disagree,
again.
right? I
Fucking
know how
over
you
the
feel
kid in the
about
mouse
that. I
costume.
know. I
Like
get
you're
it.
fucking over these students.
It is exactly what these students are saying, and they're like, you know what? It is time
Walt
for
Disney's
us.
College of Football.
It's,
Yes.
it's time for
They're
you
like,
gave
it's-
us a college education. Great. You're making
Billions off
of
of
dollars.
us.
You can trickle some of that money down to us people.
And not even,
I
and
do-
they're
I,
not
uh,
even talking about like getting big paybacks. They're talking about changing some collegiate NCAA rules
So
because
that you
they're
can- you
they're
can get a
saying
little
the
something
fact
out of
that
it.
this kid, and it's spurned from a kid I believe who was in Texas, who got the Taco Bell from his coach who was suspended. Because his coach bought him a couple bucks worth of tacos. He's
And-
like,
and
this
Harrison-
needs
okay,
to change.
Harrison's brilliant.
No,
That's all.
but I'm sorry, Harrison. I cannot
agree.
disagree.
I can't see you, Harrison. I don't have a computer.
She's saying that it's entertainment.
It is.
It would be entertainment, and that's a lovely thing to think. If it wasn't $1 billion industry,
Off of the backs of college students.
right? This is
who may or may not have a choice. They might not have any other road.
And I
than
love the
college
little eye
football.
roll you're giving. But
No,
they're-
I'm not eye rolling. I went to say something, and then I went, nah, I'm just going to shut up.
Yeah, because it is. You're right. It is entertainment, but it is the entertainment on
It's
the backs
also a
of
choice.
But it is entertainment and a choice.
But
on the back of
if they don't choose those people, they don't get $1 billion industries out of it. If they only pick sucky players that
true.
have the money to
you.
go there
But
and
these
live,
sucky players have the possibility
Right.
of going on to making millions.
so what they're saying is, give us a little piece. Like,
they're saying then so APU, excuse me, is this kind
not
of
a little piece, but if somebody gives us
not
a
even a little
kickback-
piece.
No.
Yeah, if somebody gives us a kickback, you can't
Shut the fuck
suspend
up.
us and
Right.
end the whole thing.
That's what
you
they're saying.
can't suspend us and kick us out of the program because someone fed us.
That's exactly what they're saying.
They can't go.
Well,
get-
there should be new rules or boundaries maybe on
Thank
something,
you.
and I'm
Thank
okay
you.
with
And that is
That's what
all
APU
that they're
is
saying. So
But for
APU
someone to say
stands.
it's entertainment, this is not entertainment, Harrison.
It's
She
a
watches no
billion-dollar
sports.
business.
It's a billion-dollar.
It's entertainment for us.
It isn't.
Right.
But
But it is entertainment.
So
Yes.
really quickly,
Hallelujah.
APU stands for
I wanna
All
be part of the
Players
show.
United.
Yeah.
And all they're saying is
Yeah.
that let's get players on board to essentially they want to unionize.
I know. And
which I think is great.
Me too.
And-
All
and
union
not
all the
for-
time.
And not for payment. They don't want to be free school plus do what they love and also pay me $1 million. They're like, give us they want a stipend to buy
Hallelujah.
food, buy clothes, buy whatever. Like,
Yeah.
give me a stipend to buy fucking food.
Hallelujah to Clayton. I worked for Disney. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a really
They don't pay either. Disney does not pay. Yes, that's entertainment, but they're making billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like Walmart. This college football is like Walmart. You're making billions of dollars
on the backs of poor people.
On the backs of poor people. Yeah, that's who's in college. Stop making that
And you
face.
have a choice to go work at Walmart.
Agreeing with
But you have a choice to work
making
at
this face.
No, it's just that
pissing me off.
But don't you have
I'm
a
so
choice to work
tired.
at
I'm
Walmart
just not
as well?
completely agreeing
But you
with
do. You have a choice to go work at Walmart.
You do.
And
You do.
but you
know what
need
you're gonna
a
get
living.
paid.
You need to make a living.
Need to make a living, and they will hire you with no teeth and 50 tattoos on your face. Like, so that's where all you can go.
And they now also give domestic partner benefits.
It doesn't
there is no reason to ever go to Walmart.
No,
that
it
is
still
that is the
doesn't.
shittiest
It doesn't rule
corporation
out
in the
their
country.
horrible.
Absolutely not. If I could stand in front of a sign there and shame people for walking in that building, I would do it.
I would stand behind the sign so people could read the sign.
And that's
It's
our weekend
9:37.
score.
We are in the middle of hour 3. We have one segment left, and hopefully this won't. If nothing else has kept you listening, this might.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
All right.
What did you say to me?
I said there's nobody here to ask.
They're going to come back. They're in the kitchen.
All right. So I'm just going to say this in a brief, entertainment adjunct.
We're still in entertainment?
I have one little thing. I kept it short, but I forgot one little thing.
Okay.
Prisoners. Because I've been talking about it for weeks, and I thought, I know no one pays attention to my entertainment section.
Somebody does.
But I've been talking about it for weeks, that they brought it to the Toronto Film Festival, and no one was quite sure why. It's because it's a fucking fantastic movie. And Barbara was...
Wait, didn't Barbara Seville just watch it today?
Yeah. We ran into each other. I was going to text her and see if she wanted to go, and she was going to text me, and we ended up one show apart. So I'm walking out of Prisoners completely...
Tell me, because I feel like I
freaked out.
shouldn't go.
I would understand your concerns
I have a baby.
about going. Yes, I would understand. I have to tell you, it is not what you're expecting, and everything that they said at the Toronto Film Festival, when everyone was like, why is this movie playing here? Why are we at a film festival with a traditional...
Like a normal, old, scary Pucatelli.
Yeah, what the hell is what is the point of this movie? Anything that you're expecting as far as oh my god, it's the
kids get abducted, life is scary, go.
This is the anti-Steven Spielberg movie.
What?
Right when you think you're gonna get to the point where oh my god, now we gotta see the people grapple with the police. You already know that what goes on. Now we're gonna get a lecture about when kids are how long you have if a kid's abducted. Nope, fast forward past that. Anything that you already know in your head and you know how it's gonna play and you've seen it in a TV movie, they just cut right past it. It's just
really?
Oh yeah.
So it really is the anti-Steven Spielberg.
You're all ready for them to cue to seriously, now we have to call the cops and explain what happened, and why does Terrence Howard he's had 3 glasses of wine and just said he was too drunk to play a song. And you're like, oh my god, this is where we're going to waste 40 minutes. Gone. Oh, no. We come to the cop sitting eating a pie. The cop having a piece of pie in the diner. And you're like, oh, we're not even going to show that scene. And then somebody gets drugged. And you know what we don't have? We don't have the blurry camera to show you that the
they're
person is
drugged.
Who directed this?
Oh, I waited. I was
Spielberg.
No, I never heard of this director.
Wait, Steven...
No, he didn't. I never heard of this director.
Because he freaks out every time Spielberg leads you to water and makes you drink.
Right.
This movie so does not lead you to water. They build you up to this thing, and there's someone
No,
they get you to this big climax.
What if you
and
have
you're
kids? Should you not go see it?
I honestly can't tell you, because this movie was
the preview gives me anxiety.
And the movie gave me anxiety. And I said either Oxygen or Valium, because the
Xanax, maybe?
I almost peed
have
my
some
pants.
of those.
I almost peed my pants out of sheer nervousness, and just because they wouldn't lead you to water. So I texted Barbara, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what, I don't understand what the girl
What
said.
am I supposed to be feeling?
I know.
Steven Spielberg didn't tell me.
That's exactly what I felt, and I loved it.
For those of you wondering why the music is in the background, we are in the thoughtful vulgarity
but
segment.
everybody left, so there's no one to ask a question
and
to.
Al needed to wrap up the entertainment section with something else about a movie.
And there was no one to ask the question to. Everybody left.
So now we've all
I had to go to
returned.
the loo.
We've all returned to Studio C. We have a few minutes left. Plenty of time to ask a couple of questions. And Al, our first question for the night is.
Well, okay, this is a fun one. Okay, wait. It was
Three of us are back.
It was right here on my screen. Oh yeah, we booted you because of the looks you were giving me.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, you were out of the. There we are.
If you give Al bad looks, you're
Oh,
out.
I'm
Right.
I have to redo that shot.
unnecessarily bitchy today because I am so tired.
Oh, you're adorable.
You're
You're
just
It's just kind
normal.
of fun because the
You're
first
normal.
time I did it and he reacted, I was like,
I'm
going
gonna
to
keep doing that. I'm gonna keep doing
Kind of like
that.
you do with certain things, Al. You know?
Okay, now the question was now because I can't find it, so now I have to
Make up a goddamn
I
question.
know, no, give me a question. All right, I'm so goddamn tired, people. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so I need a situation, and I think maybe we've covered this now that I think about it, because I think I want to know what your answers are going to be.
Chili cook-off.
It's a 2003.
Wings 2003.
Bingo, chili cook-off.
Yeah, with
Got it.
Braun, as a matter of fact.
Oh, you know what we haven't
Hey,
done?
Braun.
You know what we haven't done? I hate to interrupt you, Al, because you interrupt everybody else. We haven't gone over these test results for the
Oh,
doctor.
wait till you listen
me
back to my
ready.
entertainment section. I'm not pointing at you directly, but kind of.
We should answer that question first.
Let's answer
Go
a question.
ahead.
Then we got our Dr. Phil. Our Dr. Phil test
I gotta
results.
find it where I hit that. All right,
Yeah,
go
me
ahead.
too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So, I wrote down Dr. Phil test. Hang on, I gotta Google it.
Yeah, we have to all like.
Okay, so here's the deal. So Dr. Phil,
I like how you're just gonna jump right in. I enjoy it a lot.
right?
I enjoy it so much.
Dr. Phil did a personality test. Psych Central. The most important thing is to hear how the results are, and I got to get to that final page.
For Jesus Christ, there are enough ways to lead you up to this thing.
I know. How that I know it.
I'll get there. I'm got it here. We're good.
You've got the page. You got the results page. Yeah. Okay. So you just need to tell it. We just need to tell you what our answers were.
Right. No, I got to get through the questions. Keep going. So anyway, there's a.
So it's basically it's a 10-question quiz that's been going around on Facebook, and you know,
You write it
the
down?
teaser
What's happening?
is. These are all of the questions that you need to know about yourself that have never been asked, you know, that kind of thing. And
no,
so,
and what was the deal that Oprah got 33 and he did
and he got a lot higher.
55?
Yeah.
Right.
What was really, when I did it last night, I was really actually surprised by the result that I got in an interesting way. I wasn't like unhappy with it, but I was surprised.
Okay.
Do you have the I know what my number was.
60 points is the highest you can score
Right.
on the test.
Okay.
Now, Al, have we left your realm of the world? Are we stepping on toes?
Let's do this.
Okay. So anyway, we will put it on our Facebook page. I'll write a note down to that Dr. Phil.
I do it now, but I have no computer.
I understand. Facebook.
Oh, I need a piece of paper and pen.
Oh, we're gonna.
I thought this was a test we took a couple weeks ago, and we were finally
Yep,
getting the
that's right.
results.
Different
no,
test.
different test.
This is an easier,
Because
shorter
everybody
one.
ignored my test.
No, I
No,
took
I
it.
took
Oh, no,
it, but
you
I-
took it.
No.
What do you need? A pen?
Yeah. Where's the pen box?
No, wait, I got rid of it.
It used to sit in front of me.
I don't like it. Get rid of it. Okay, so now, let's go back. We'll go back and we'll ask the questions. And if you at home want to listen along and play along, we
Hallelujah.
will do
this
this.
is
We'll do this. So this is called Dr. Phil's test. What you need to do is get a piece of paper. You're going to number it 1 through 10 because there's 10 questions. And then next to each number, you're going to put a letter, which is going to correspond with your answer.
This is good, Clayton. I'm glad you're giving it.
So here's how we're doing this. I'm going to turn this music down just a trifle. We're all on camera. We're good. Okay, question number 1. It's an ABC answer. When do you feel you're at your best? A, in the morning, B, in the afternoon or early evening, or C, late at night? Question number 1. When do you feel your best? Morning, A, afternoon, early evening, B, C, late at night.
What if we need an extra, like, flip a coin?
No, you just got to pick.
You gotta, yeah. If you're inassertive, you shouldn't be
And
taking this
how you
test.
feel now. This isn't past. This isn't your past.
Oh,
This
and that
is
wasn't being bitchy. That was just honest.
This is just how you are now. This is how you were. This is the snapshot of you
Also
now.
bitchy.
Thank you.
Question number 2.
Hilarious.
Question number 2.
Ooh, Sean just sent his number in.
You usually walk A, fairly fast with long steps. B, fairly fast with little steps. C, less fast, head up, looking the world in the face. D, less fast, head down. Or E, very slowly. Again, question 2, you usually walk fairly fast with long steps, A, or B, fairly fast with little steps. Answer C is less fast, head up, looking the world in the face. Letter D, less fast, head down, or E, very slowly.
Can they see our answers?
No.
Okay, good.
They're not that good at cameras. Question 3. When talking to people, you, A, stand with your arms folded.
Oh, this is my hard one.
B, have your hands clasped.
Oh, that wasn't hard at all.
C, have one or both of your hands on your hips or in your pockets. D, touch or push the person whom you're talking. Really? You're just going to...
Boom! That's
You'd think that was my answer.
Yeah.
I do it touching. I
thought it was
touch a
yours.
lot.
E, play with your ear, touch your chin, or smooth your hair. Again, reiterating question 3 in the Dr. Phil test. When talking to people, you, A, stand with your arms folded. B, have your hands clasped. C, have one or both of your hands on your hips or in your pockets.
When can I interrupt you? Because this everybody.
When I'm done giving the answers. D, touch or push the person to whom you were talking.
Al just got shut down.
E, play with your ear,
Hallelujah.
touch your chin, or smooth your hair. Al?
Oh, I was just because the grading system at the end of this is hard. So if when you get to the point where you grade this for people that are listening, it's going to be tricky. I'm just saying.
We'll get there.
So I'm hoping they go to the website. Maybe we should give it again so they can get the grading on their own.
We're going to put it on our Facebook page. So
Okay.
that if you want to look it up, you can.
Yeah.
It's a Dr. Phil test. It's been all over Facebook, so maybe it's already stumbled across your path. We're not sure. Question 4. Remember, we're going for, there's only 10 questions, so we're almost halfway through. When relaxing, you sit with A, your knees bent with your legs neatly side by side.
I do a number of these things.
This isn't, just answer the question, Katie.
Just answer the damn question, Claire.
B, your legs crossed. C, your legs stretched out straight. Or D, one leg curled under you. Again, the question is, when relaxing, you sit with A, your knees bent with your legs neatly side by side. B, your legs crossed. C, your legs stretched out or straight. D, one leg curled under you. Mark down your answer in A, B, or C. Question 5. The Dr. Phil test. Question 5. When something really amuses you, you react with... Girls?
Yep.
What do you...
Ladies.
Go on.
Do we need to-
You keep
you
going.
good?
I'm done.
Okay. Question 5. When something really amuses you, you react with A, big appreciated laugh. B, a laugh, but not a loud one. C, a quiet chuckle. Not to be confused with the whole
I've never. What's a
chortle.
quiet chuckle sound like?
I don't know. Yeah. D, a sheepish smile. What is that?
Yeah.
So
sounds
again,
like quiet.
Question right. Homonyms. Question 5. When something really amuses you, you react with A, big appreciated laugh. B, a laugh but not a loud one. C, a quiet chuckle. D, a sheepish smile. Or smile.
Smile.
Number 6. Question 6 out of 10. When you go to a party or a social gathering, you A, make a loud entrance so everyone notices you.
Naturally.
B, make a quiet entrance looking around for someone you know. Or C, make the quietest entrance trying to stay completely unnoticed.
Oh, back up, Barney. Just keep backing up.
I did. Sorry.
Question 6 out of 10. When you go to a party or social gathering, you A, make a loud entrance so everyone notices you. B, make a quiet entrance looking around for someone you know. C, make the quietest of entrances trying to stay
Why would you do
completely
that?
unnoticed.
I mean, that's no fun. No one would know you were there.
Nobody if anybody in this studio answers that question with quiet as possible,
That's
just
how
just
I
leave.
answered.
Just leave.
Isn't that right?
Just
You're
leave,
a dirty,
Marnie. Just
rotten
leave.
fucking liar.
You're a liar.
Also leave.
Question 7 out
Hey,
of
it's better than the R word.
Question 7 out of 10. When you
true.
are working or concentrating very hard, you are interrupted. You A, welcome the break. B, you feel extremely irritated. C, you vary between the two extremes.
Only if
Again-
I'm talking about the Oscars.
Again, question 7, unless you're lying on your floor on a pillow,
Face down and
Then
vomit, by the way.
I welcome the.
in your own vomit. Question 7, when you're working or concentrating very hard and you are interrupted, you A, react welcoming the break. B, you feel extremely irritated. Or C, you vary between the two extremes. Question 8. Which of the following colors do you like most?
This was a hard one.
I agree. This was a little
like,
bit.
who has a favorite color?
It was a little.
Oh, I do.
I
Yeah,
do.
it was
We're
easy for me.
adulthood.
I do, but but because it gives you a couple of variables, it
Black?
threw me off. So let's go through this. Question 8. Which of the following colors do you like most? A is red or orange. B is black. C is a yellow or light blue. D is green. E is dark blue or purple. F is white. G is brown or gray. I'm going to go through the question again. Which of the following colors do you like most? A is red or orange. B is black. C is yellow or light blue. D is green. E is dark blue or purple. F is white. And G is brown or gray. Again, we're doing a Dr. Phil test. It's been available on Facebook, going all the rounds on the social media. We will post it on our Facebook page. We are going to continue on. Wait, is Al already? He's already done his?
He's already
okay,
done.
good.
Yep.
Question 9. When you are in bed at night, in those last few moments before going to sleep,
I love it.
you lie A, stretched out on your back.
Nope.
B, stretched out face down on your stomach. C, on your side, slightly curled. D, with your head on one arm. Or E, with your head under the covers.
God, I want to be in bed.
Question 9. In
Your voice and this music
Right?
is just like literally lulling me to sleep.
You're the only person
Awesome.
who's ever said my voice was soothing, ever. So question 9 out of a series of 10, the Dr. Phil test. When you are in bed at night, in those last few moments before going to sleep, you lie A, stretched out on your back. B, stretched out face down on your stomach. C, on your side, slightly curled. D, with your head on one arm. Or E, with your head under the covers. Again, mark your answers next to question 9, A, B, C, D, or E. The final question in the series of 10. Question 10, you often dream that you are A, falling. B, fighting or struggling. C, searching for something or somebody. D, flying or floating. E, you usually have dreamless sleep. Or F, your dreams are always very pleasant. Again, question 10 in the series of 10. You often dream that you are A, falling. B, fighting or struggling. C, searching for something or somebody. D is flying or floating. E, you usually have dreamless sleep, meaning you don't have any dreams at all. F, your dreams are always pleasant dreams. Okay, so now we're going to run through the scoring. So this is going to so pay attention to this. Scoring for question A. For question A. If you got an A, give yourself 2 points. A B, 4 points. A C, 6 points. Question 2. An A is 6 points. A B is 4. A C is 7. A D is 2. And an E is 1. Question 3. An A is 4 points. A B is 2. A C is 5. A D is 7. And an E is 6. Question 4. An A is 4 points. A B is 6. A C is 2. And a D is 1. Question 5. An A is 6. A B is 4. A C is 3. A D is 5. And E is 2. Question 6, if your answer was an A, give yourself 6 points. A B is 4 points. And a C is 2. Question 7, A is 6. B is 2. C is 4. Question 8. This is a long one. Question 8. If you did an A, you get 6. A B is 7. A C is 5. A D is 4, an E is 3, an F is 2, and a G is 1. Question 9. If you answered with an A, you get 7 points. A B is 6, a C is 4, a D is 2, and an E is 1. And for our final question, question 10, If your answer was an A, give yourself 4 points. A B is 2, a C is 3, a D is 5, an E is 6, and an F is 1 point. So now add up the total of all of your numbers. Come up with a figure on that. You might want to add twice because you might fuck up because it's late in the show and we've been drinking.
Hallelujah.
We've only got a couple minutes left. We're going to go through this quickly. Let's go around the table starting with Al Perkins. What was your number?
I was 41 to 50 points.
You were
Others see you as fresh, lively, charming, amusing, practical, and always interesting. Someone who's constantly in the center of attention, but sufficiently well-balanced not to let it go to their head. They also see you as kind, considerate, and understanding. Someone who'll always cheer them up and help them out. I think that's dead on.
That's exactly what I got. The exact same thing I got from Al. Did you get the same, Marnie?
43.
You got 43.
It was 44.
You were 44?
Shit.
Katie.
Now,
She's
I did not
65.
get the same answer.
And I was at 50. I was
Were
an
you?
even
Okay.
50. Yeah,
I was on the cusp as well,
What
but
were you?
I was 51.
Okay.
So I was
But you
on
were
the
in the
next
same-
up.
you- but-
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I
you
was
were-
on the next up. So you
you were-
got to read that one. It's a little bit more like egocentric.
Got it.
A
So
little
Al,
bit more self-centered.
Can you read that or do you want me to?
Oh, wait. So Katie's is others see you as exciting, highly volatile,
And
rather
how?
impulsive personality, natural leader, one who's quick to make decisions, though not always the right ones.
But I do
see-
make them. Thank you.
Nantucket.
They see you as bold
True.
and adventuresome, someone who will try something or anything once, someone who takes chances and enjoys an adventure. They enjoy being in your company because of the excitement you radiate. I would
agree.
give this to age.
Oh, I think
You
to a
think?
point, yeah.
Sure.
Because the snapshot of the test is now. It's not yesterday. It's not future.
Yeah.
It's now.
And-
because this is a hiring quiz, if I'm not mistaken, based on how they're hiring people
Oh,
and how you're
wow.
going. Yeah, it's an HR quiz. It's an HR quiz.
And I would the one that really gave it away to me was the one about entering a party about the
Sure.
age
Oh,
thing.
God.
Because I would normally like years ago have entered a party and been like, "La, I'm here," and now I enter a party and be like, who do I know? Where do I stand? What's the best vantage point?
Al, that's so interesting because I looked at that question as one of the most telling as well. And I think that even still, I don't. Okay, and I looked at it as an event I entered recently, like a meeting event, and my sister and I attended together, and we didn't enter going, "Wah, we're here," but we both entered and said, "Hey!" And as soon as we walked in, everyone looked at us. We gave kisses and hugs to every single person. It was an interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
And then in a little while, once you're over 30, you'll be like, I don't need to say hey to you.
exactly.
33.
And you pick and choose.
Yeah.
You'll get
but
there.
still there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Katie and this topic in about 6 years when Katie turns 40.
7
You know
years,
what that
bitches.
means
Exactly.
for us.
7
though,
years.
so
It's
I
the
don't
show
know.
with Clayton McKee. That's me. I'm here with Katie June, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. We're here every Tuesday, 7 to 10. Thank you for joining us.
And good night.
Woo! We are coming so close to the end of the
From
show.
me.
We're sorry it's been so brief.
Sleep well,
Al's going to go to
Al.
sleep. We're going to wrap up the show by ending it as the way we always do every single week. Thank you for joining us, but we will see you next Tuesday!
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.